Sound down. Down to like 2 or 1, maybe. 2 or 1. All right, let me see here. Gonna let everybody know that I'm streaming. Let's take a look here. Gonna let everybody. Whoop. See, I'm streaming live. There you go. Okie dokie. Well, I died. A fabulous start. Ooh, cat cam. Kitty cat cam. We're gonna do the video to kitty cat. Say hello to Pepper. She is my baby and I love her very much. Hi, bubbies. How are you, bubbies? Rain says, ew. Hi, Rain. Bobro says, hi. Hi, Bobro. Hi, my bubbies. How you doing, bubbies? How you doing? I am here. Your moderator is here. Ah, sick. Yeah, that's right. You are my mod. Great work. Say hello to bubbies. Oh, I can actually have the Logitune up without crashing everything. We're going to see if we can adjust the image. You know, if you... oh my. Let me increase that exposure. There's probably, like, not too much gain. But this is my bubby. She's my kitty. I don't know why it's... I'll just turn on auto exposure. Oh, yeah, my bubbies. Hi, Peppers. Hello, woke liberal in chat. Hello. Hello. We are taking calls. 202-998-5218. What are you doing, bubbies? Are we done with the cat cam? Are you done? She's still smushing her face up against it. She wants pets. She said, give me attention. You always give me attention at the beginning of your show. She knows. She knows. Okay, yes. Oh, she's on my baby. Look at her. Yes. Oh, are you going to bite me? Don't bite me, babies. Bobro says, how was Amsterdam the rest of the week? Yes, I will explain this. Yes, you will know. You will know. Okay. Ow. Okay, fine. More pets. Is that... Well, Pepper, we gotta start the show. How exactly are we gonna be... We gotta start the show. Did you bring us anything from across the Atlantic? Dude, I should have brought something and I didn't. I didn't bring anything. I'm sorry. Ow! Pepper, that hurts. She still wants pets. Okay. So, things that have happened. So, I think I have come to the conclusion that in the United States we're doing everything wrong. We just completely have dropped the ball on it. Ooh, phone call. You're on the line with First Amender.
Yo, it's Tony.
What's up, Tony?
Not much. I would say politically I am not left-leaning. I'd say I'm right-leaning, but I'm not that into it. I figured I'd just float a couple things at you and see what you think on them.
Okay. What you got?
Yeah, so what do you got an opinion on AI music? Do you like it at all? I'm not a fan myself.
Not really.
Okay, good to hear. And then just a little sort of relational thing is like the self-driving cars. What do you think on those?
I mean, I'm not against any self-driving cars. I just think that I honestly think I doubt the technology.
As do I. Yeah. I mean, are you? So I live in one of the major. They're only in 4 major cities right now, and I'm in Phoenix. So, yeah, they're here, and I just don't like them. I go into work early morning, and they're the only cars out on the road. And I really do think if any of them got into an accident with me, I mean, they got way more lawyers than I do. I'd probably lose the suit, And maybe it's just hearsay because you hear of some accidents with them, but they don't stay in the. I don't know. They aren't talked about too often.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, do you feel like they're kind of pushing them, though? Like they kind of want us to go that way, do you think?
I mean, I just don't think they're there yet, but I mean, you're saying that they're already there, really? What city are you in?
I'm in Phoenix, and
Okay,
there's only
that's
4
crazy.
cities that have them so far. Yeah, they're very weird.
I mean, I'm not against it, I guess, if it works,
Well,
if it's like safe, but like, I don't know.
yeah, and I do understand that, but just my kind of thought is, you for sure you use Lyfts and Ubers and stuff when you go out, right?
Yeah.
I imagine.
Yeah.
You use Uber and Lyft, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, so same here, and kind of how they started out, Uber and Lyft, they were really cheap, and they paid the drivers well. Now they're kind of getting expensive, and they're not paying the drivers that well. I almost think it's the same, I don't know, they're trying to get like, oh, the cheaper ride is to take the driverless one.
Yeah, and
You
then they're
should
just going to
take
increase the price.
driverless around.
But I mean, that's kind of been the case like forever because of like you have to understand that Lyft and Uber, they have not been. They basically have only lost money for several years. So like, it doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, they've been doing great.
Well, lately they've been doing good.
Yeah,
because
money-wise, they've made a lot. But do you think at all, like, okay, right when they first started, did you hear anything on, like, because you know how there's a thing out in New York where taxis are huge, that they had to get, like, a license to taxi, and it cost, like, a lot of money, and then Lyft and Uber just didn't have to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I mean, once again, I'm just like originally Uber was operating at a loss for like a long time. And so it's only like, and this is a classic business strategy where you try to build up a customer base, and then you lose money momentarily. And then afterwards, then like you no longer lose money. So like they basically, the amount that they were, giving drivers and the amount that they were charging, it just wasn't anywhere close to like a profitable business venture. So it's a guarantee that it's just going to increase the I don't see that as like a negative business transaction. I just go, okay, well, that's kind of the cost of business in that aspect. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, and it does make sense how businesses work like that, where they operate in a loss.
They got to make a profit somehow, right? Mind you, right? I'm no friend of billionaires or whatever. I just, I realize the necessity of businesses. They've got to make money.
Well, same thing has to be with those driverless cars. They have to be operating at a major loss right now. Those are some expensive. They're actually, do you even know? Because I was talking to someone else who's not in Arizona, but it's a Jaguar SUV with all the self-driving tech. Like, that has to cost at least like $100,000 per car, Yeah. And
why? Yeah, I mean, what you'd be concerned with is, I mean, there would be the upfront cost of the car, obviously, plus decking it out, and then the next thing would be like, okay, well, what is the, what's the depreciation, Honestly, I'm not.
Vehicles.
I'm not exactly sure. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure why they would pick a Jaguar. To be honest, like, because it's kind of like a very high depreciation vehicle.
As a selling point, I think it's a Google company. I think, and they have all the money, so they knew people wouldn't
like,
take a Mazda.
Maybe, I don't know.
I'm just speculating on it a lot. I figured I'd float a couple little questions at you. But nice to catch you on this call-in show. At least, even though we disagree politically, and I haven't talked to you much, but you seem like a nice guy. And I just respect the fact of you having an open call-in show to anyone. I do respect that.
Yeah, no problem. I mean, I'll be honest with you. There's a couple of people that I've certainly blocked.
Oh, for sure. That's how the internet goes. Yeah.
I mean, like, I don't know. There's only so many, like, well, I just think women shouldn't have rights. And I'm just like, all right, bro.
Yeah, and
we're just not, we're never going to agree. Like, it's never going to happen.
Yeah, a lot of people don't go on the internet correctly because they kind of don't associate it with real life. They don't think of it as, I don't know. I judge people on how they enter the internet. I like good people, righteous people, and I don't think it has anything to do with how someone would choose something. I totally do respect the call-in show. Even me, I'm too fearful to do that. So props to you on that, man.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Gotcha. Well, yeah. Hey, I'll catch you around another time. I can't hang too long today, but thank you for taking my call.
Yeah, no problem. Have a good day.
Peace, man. You too.
Well, that was an interesting call. We're still taking calls. Anyway, story. All right, so here's what happened. I was going to Amsterdam, I was in Amsterdam on my way to the airport, like ready to just like leave. And then there was, sorry, I'm just going to focus. Then there was this announcement, that was happening on the tram. I was sitting there on the tram. And it was like speaking in Dutch at me. It was just like, Lelylaan. Our next stop is Lelylaan. And I was like, all right, Lelylaan. That's 2 stops away from the Amsterdam airport station. So, okay, cool, right? I get on the airport, or I get on the airplane, and then I land in Atlanta. And then I'm sitting there on the tram in Atlanta. And in Atlanta, the tram, it said, our next stop is B. B as in burger and fries. I'm not making that up. There's a reason why American or Europeans call us stupid. There's a very good reason. Right? Like, do you find it concerning that there's like a very normal message, coming from the tram in Amsterdam in comparison to the tram in Atlanta International Airport? B as in burger and fries? Are we like brain dead? What happened to us, bro? Dude, we are so cooked as a country. We're cooked, dude. There's no we're not getting out of this. We're going full doomer mode, guys. We're not getting out of this. We're just going to experience brain drain like Africa. Like, I'm not even kidding. Dude, this actually happened. This is a real thing. It happened. You can't make this up. I'm not making it up. I find it very concerning. All right. Paul Bro says, yes, we are not fries. F is for fries. Well, it said burger and fries. And I'm just like, oh my God, dude. Like, we have to like communicate like in terms of food for the letters. Cause I don't know. We can't like understand letters or something. It's just weird, dude. It's weird. And then it's like, well, what if letters are hard to like, I don't know. What do I say? Our letters are hard to kind of like determine, like, let's say like the difference between a P and a B, but then there was no P. It was just like, here's A, B, C, D, G, and then T. It's like, okay, well, I mean, if there's a problem like trying to understand the letters, why not just like call it a name? Like, I don't know. It just made me think like, dude, we're so dumb. We're like unironically, we're so cooked. You have like this bilingual fucking thing telling you where you are and what to do and where you're going, in comparison to like B like burger and fries. Like I'm watching like some Sesame Street, bro. We're so cooked, bro. We're done. I'm trying to get the Platt Trophy in this level, by the way, for anybody who's trying to anyway. We are taking calls 202-998-5218. Is the show almost up? I think we gotta start the show. All right, let's get started. All right, let's start the show. Start event. Starting event. All right, here we go.
Hello, Amanda.
Can you hear me, Daniel?
If I can hear you, probably not.
Of course not. Of course not. Of course not. That's asking for too much. What? Asking Discord to like magically work? No, that's asking way too much. Bobro says, I got The Witcher 3 when it was on sale a few days ago, and damn, it's a good game. Yeah, that's a really good game. Let's see. John says, I feel B for birder is a similar principle for A is for apples. I'm just pointing out, like, it's just kind of like brain dead. It's just like dumb. Like, we're just so dumb, dude. Like, I don't know what to say. All right, hold on a sec. Yeah, so Daniel, you probably heard it earlier in the week, right? When we were talking about the B for burger. Do you know what
I don't know.
You don't know what I'm talking about? Oh, dude, you're going to laugh. Oh, man, I got to retell the story. Okay. All right.
You have to.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, no, it's good.
Hello, by the way.
Hello. How you doing? Could be better.
You know, like in life. Yeah, well, it could be a lot better. Yes.
All right. Well, all right, let me see. So here's what happened. Okay. I was in Amsterdam, and I was heading back to the airport to go home. And there I was on a tram, on my way to the Schiphol airport station, and I heard on the intercom, it went, Lelyland. Our next stop is Lelyland. And I was just like, okay, Lelyland, that's 2 stops away from Schiphol. So I got to wait another 2 stops, right? No big deal.
Yeah.
And then I get on, I much later goes on, I get on an airplane, and then there I am in Atlanta International Airport, and I have to get on a tram to get to my next destination. So I get on the tram, and it goes, your next stop is B. B for burger and fries.
Okay. There has to be some American thing.
Dude, we're so cooked. We are so cooked.
Oh, man. Well, you kind of are. You kind of are a bit.
We're cooked, dude.
More than cooked.
I could not believe, just like, I don't know, like, it made me think of like idiocracy. Like, we are unironically living in idiocracy. Like we're unironically like losing our like bid on like the intelligence war. Like, people are just, I think we're like getting like brain drained, like unironically. Like, I think we're like in a lot of trouble in the United States. I'm starting to think that, like, I'm so doomer pilled on this. I'm just like, there's zero chance we're going to keep our like, our global like power, like as like a superpower.
That's gone.
Like, we're done, dude.
That is gone.
You think?
I mean, I don't think anybody is going to. I mean, it's going to take a while. If America ever wants to kind of get its, uh, its appeal and its like aura back, it's gonna take a while. Because I feel like now people are just looking at America and it's like, okay, it's like these people are just insane. Because one of the funny, like one of the disturbing things in Idiocracy, because you brought it up, was the fact that it was cool to be stupid, right? And people literally thought it's cool to be stupid. And I feel like right now in America, it is a lot of people think it's cool to be stupid. It's like we don't need to listen to all these fucking scientists and these like people that actually learned and went to to great lengths to actually understand the specific subject. No, it's just like we can just be stupid. It's like, come on, like they don't care, right? It's like nobody cares about like data. Like data just became irrelevant in America, right? I mean, as soon as Trump had like his chief of labor bureau statistics give him like some stats he didn't like, boom, fired.
Yeah.
And in comes another guy from the Heritage Foundation who just happened to find some new data that nobody else had. Great. And I guess it's like, it is what it is, right? It's like, we're just going to ignore we're just not going to care.
Well, I mean, I don't know. In that moment, I was just like, "Holy crap, dude! We're unironically just so cooked." I now that I have, I mean, well, now that I have visited, another European country, I visited Ireland, and now I have visited the Netherlands. I can safely say that in the United States, we're doing it all wrong. Yep, I think I can now safely argue that. What do you think?
Well, I mean, not everything, and the thing is, it's like it wasn't always the case. I mean, I still think Americans, it's kind of on to you at this point, to kind of get your country back. I think that's the battle that you have to wage right now. Just get your country back from this idiocracy that is rising within it. Because that's what it literally is, it's the,
I think, huh?
When you have a president that is, was convicted of sexual assault, is very, very likely to be involved in a pedophile ring. That's
that's
years
all
and years.
other
Then
can of worms.
What do you do, right?
Yeah.
It's like you have to get your country back somehow. I don't know how.
We are taking calls.
Tell you.
202-998-5218. If you want to come in and call in, you can call. We'll have the discussion. I mean, do you agree or disagree with the soy boy liberal? Well, here I am. I'm right here. I'm waiting for your call. So, we already did have one call, so we're waiting for our next call at this point. Other than that, I really enjoyed my time in Amsterdam. One thing, don't ask Dutch people whether or not Amsterdam is a nice place to visit. They will never say positive things about it, I've learned. Honestly, I liked Amsterdam. I thought it was really nice. And the Dutch are not positive about Amsterdam. And I'm just like, why? It's so nice there. Like the biking and everything.
A lot of tourists. That's why.
Who cares? Tourists?
No, but I'm telling you why they don't like it. Yeah, there's a lot of tourists. And there's a lot of places in Europe where tourism is so big that people that live in those cities, they fucking hate it, right?
Yeah.
Because like there's always tourists all over the place, in all their places. So like their lives are kind of like, they have to navigate through a lot of tourists, and tourists always change and they never know the rules of the game in that specific place. So
yeah,
it can be very annoying, right? If you go to Barcelona, for example, it's the same. If you go to Rome, it's the same. You go to Paris, it's the same,
Yeah. I think I see what you mean with that, but I don't know. Like if somebody was just like, "Ooh, how's Orlando?" I would probably be like, "How is Disney World?" I'm like, "Yeah, you're gonna have a good time." Like, I mean, like I get it's like for tourists, but it's like, why would you disparage your own like capital like as like a bad place? You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, it's just Europeans, we're like that sometimes. We don't have a problem to shit on our neighbor.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no. With the bike, the Bobro mentioned biking is better than America's system. I could not agree more. That's 100%, 100%, bro. It's just insane, like what we have done, like in the United States with like cars and stuff. But we are taking calls. 202-998-5218. If you disagree with the soy boy liberal, well, I'm right here. I'm willing to hear out your argument. You would be live on the YouTube channel, and it'd be great. We'll hear it out.
I hear you're getting better, right? It's like with the sickness and everything.
Yes, I was sick I got sick roughly halfway through my vacation, and I was like, yep, don't care. Still doing cool stuff. Don't care. Like, I just forced myself. I was like, I'm going to keep doing fun stuff. Like, I'm sorry. That's just what I'm going to do.
Also, like, good thing you're never going to die there because it's, socialized healthcare.
Yeah. That's, I mean, it's just a cold. It's nothing like crazy or nothing, but no, I get what you're saying. Like, okay, so like to be fair, right? Like just getting a general checkup in the United States in and of itself is not that expensive. You're probably going to run about $90, for like just a general checkup without insurance. But, and there do exist these places called urgent cares, where they offer that exact service. And that's what a lot of people get. Right. But, the negatives is when there's like an expensive, surgery or something that requires some level of invasive care, or spending any amount of time in the hospital is bad, really bad. It's very expensive. It's totally unacceptable.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah.
I mean, but I obviously cannot help myself, but be a bit cheeky about the American healthcare system.
Yeah. Looks like we got somebody who's raising their hand in the audience, so we're going to go ahead and invite them to speak. Come on up, John. You're being invited to speak, John. John, you are being invited to speak. You just have to accept the invitation. You're right in. John?
Maybe he doesn't
John
see
left.
it. Maybe he's a bit...
John left.
He left.
All right, never mind on John,
he's
everybody.
Back. He's back.
John is back. They raising their hand? Are we inviting him to speak? All right, looks like John is here. How you doing, John?
Hey, sorry, just a technical problem on my end.
All right. What do you want to talk about, John?
So I wanted to touch on an issue brought up before about the intellectualism, or anti-intellectualism.
Oh, yeah.
State. I just wanted to put a point to you and see what you thought about it.
Okay.
I don't know if you would disagree, but so a point I've been hearing from a lot of Americans that I've met is that anti-intellectualism stems from a feeling that kind of college doesn't really get you places as it used to. And so I feel that there is some basis to the anti-intellectualism. It's not all people being ridiculous. I don't know what you...
I mean, maybe there's people saying that college doesn't get you anywhere, but the facts don't bear in that as like a reality.
I would say yes and no. In terms of, say, the amount of debt you have to accrue, even in England, you do have to accrue a lot of debt. And it is a huge baggage for a sometimes dubious payoff.
I mean, it's different in a state-by-state level, but I know in the state of Florida, it's relatively affordable. Okay. I was pretty poor. I didn't have any money for college. The one benefit was the fact that I qualified for the Pell Grant, and so I received my Pell Grant, and I got my bachelor's degree, and I owed about $9,000 in loans. So it's not bad at all. For me, it was not a bad situation. But there's a lot of people, like what they'll do is they'll get like dorms, for example, which is like super expensive. I mean, they charge you up the wazoo. It's honestly insane. And this is like pre-COVID numbers. They would charge you like $1,300 a month to have like your shared room of like like 1 and 6 other people in the apartment. And I'm just like, why are they charging you each person like $1,300 a month for this thing? I'm like, dude, this is total highway robbery. And I openly tried to avoid moments like that. So like that's might be like an example of pitfalls. But with that being said, on average, nationwide, people who go to college get paid more than people who don't. Period. And it pays off in dividends. It is not a small amount.
Well, but
Like
I think a lot
the
of people
difference is
come
in.
into it.
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, they see it as more of a value. As the value proposition diminishes, it becomes a harder sell, and it everything gets seen. And then, if you reject that system, you would have to then go into more anti-intellectualism is a natural consequence of that system failing.
I suppose so, but I mean, this is just kind of an argument for, hey, let's have free college.
Yeah, it's more of I feel anti-intellectualism is not. It doesn't come out of nowhere. I think
Okay.
it's unfair to say that it comes out of. I think it's.
So what's your
reaction
concern?
to people. I just wanted to put that point to you and see kind of where you stood on it.
Yeah, I mean, I just like if you want to reduce anti-intellectualism, you need to have more critical thinking. And I think you're right. Like non-access to higher education is certainly a factor in reducing people's overall critical thinking skills. And I think that colleges just need to be more accessible. People need to be more educated, so that way they don't fall for common tricks of snake oil salesmen.
Okay, and I did have a second point, but it's slightly more light.
Okay.
So, in England, you're talking about B for burger. In England, we do A for apple, B for butter, and then like C for cat, and that's how you do it in school.
No, in the trams.
Oh right.
Do you know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about? The tram, because it was specifically in a tram where grown ass adults. Like,
Okay.
do you find that concerning? Like as a nation, like the United States, I just feel like we're so cooked. Like I get that that's just like one scenario, but it's like one factor of a scenario that I can observe like empirically in many different areas. You know what I mean?
So on the tram, the announcer was spelling out the next location, like Alpha, Bravo, Charlie kind of thing.
No. So the location was A, B, and C, D, and then like I think there was like a G and a T. Right?
Okay.
To be fair, right? It's a tram inside of an airport. So it's not the same as like in a tram going from like city to city, right? I'll grant that. But it is a tram with like adults. Just see my concern.
Yeah.
Like
It's quite funny.
yeah, they're like, our next stop is B as in burger and fries. I'm just like, bruh. Like honestly, like I burst out laughing at that, and like it wasn't just me that burst out laughing. It was like me and one other European that just started laughing at how absurd that was.
I feel if you were a tram conductor doing the same route every single day, you'd lighten it up. Make up.
I mean,
funny
no.
things.
Well, it's automated. It,
Oh,
it
it's
was,
automate-
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
man. Okay, that changes it.
It's becoming less and less justifiable the more you think about it, isn't it?
It gets worse.
It's getting worse.
So I thought it was just somebody trying to make their day job a bit more fun.
No. Then it would be. Then that would, I probably wouldn't have even mentioned it if that was like. I'd be like, yeah, probably. Maybe someone's just bored.
No, fair enough. Happy times for the
All
United
right.
States. and
Go to
the
C
West.
as in. Go to college as in. C as in. I don't know. Charlie bit my finger. I don't know.
C as in Charlie Kirk.
C as in chart. Oh, dude. Same thing, man. I was sitting there in customs. I was in customs, and there was this, like, there was like multiple screens, right? Where it just had Christy Nome, like, saying, like, we have to keep America secure, and there's like multiple screens of just that. It's
very akin to 1984.
Yeah, no, like I was like, it was very reminiscent of like a Half-Life 2 scenario where like we just entered into City 17 and they're just like, welcome to City 17. You have chosen or been chosen. Oh my God. Anyway, all right, we're getting a phone call. Let's see if it's interruptive. If not, we'll just continue the call. Hold on. You're on the line with First Amender.
Should go harder, which means we need to go.
All right. Let me take care of that real quick. I knew it was just gonna be. I gotta have somebody to field my calls. Bro.
You felt it. You felt it.
I knew.
Maybe there's like an AI to do that.
I knew it. I knew it was gonna be that. So give me a second to address that. I just gotta make sure that I like block those numbers so they can only do it once, and then it happens a lot less as a result. Anyway. We are taking calls, by the way, 202-988-5218. But okay, yeah. I mean, I just thought it was really weird with like the Christy Nome just like hovering over you, and there's like several screens, and I'm just like, what is this like Dr. Breen ass like Half-Life 2 scenario?
I mean, they have to do their
so
propaganda.
weird. You know,
They
like
gotta do it, man.
they could have easily have just not had Christy Nome as like the face and just had like a fucking blank, like whoever person. But Christy Nome was like, no, I want to make a video. GJM is asking me, how are the male prostitutes in Amsterdam, Amender? So a lot of people think that I went to Amsterdam to go bump uglies and go and go smoke weed. I that couldn't be further from the truth. Number one, I'm just going to be honest with you. I am way too much of a bitch to ask for a prostitute. Are you crazy? I do not have that much courage. How much courage do you think I have? I do not have that much courage. I am way too much of a bitch. No fucking way am I going to pull that one off. No way. Zero chance. I can promise you that. Like, I'm just like, what am I going to do? Like,
I don't know. I think it's about how desperate you are, you know? If you're like really desperate, trust me, it's like you're probably not going to have that much problems, you know?
Yeah, but it is quite scary.
Like usually that's how it goes with desperation. Like,
usually,
yeah, you know?
Yes, it is scary. It is scary. I agree. I thought it was scary.
Well, what do you think was scary about it then?
I don't know.
You don't know the person. It's weird.
Yeah, I don't know the
okay,
person.
You don't know
you know.
dude. You're okay. So you're not going there to have like an.
I know. I know.
Like
I'm still. But
relationship.
okay, hold on. Let me see. Okay,
It's a transaction.
Well, hold on. So she's sitting there, or you know, she's at the glass door. She could be sitting or standing. It doesn't matter. And, you know, she's slightly opening the door, trying to coax you in. You can see her finger just kind of like, come here. And I'm just like, I'm way too much of a bitch. There's no way I'm not going to pull it off. And
I agree with you.
And also, and
I just imagined you, oh man, you just put the picture in my mind. You know, like that schoolboy that is like very flustered and he's like he doesn't know what to do.
Yeah,
but it's you with your face.
Yeah, it's very much that. I mean, I'm just gonna be honest with you. Like, I when I say I am a soy boy, I really very much am a soy boy. I'm just letting you know that I live up to the expectations of being a soy boy. I mean, I'm there. So, would you have enough courage, Daniel? I didn't have enough courage. I couldn't. There's no way I could do it, dude.
I don't really care that much, so I probably wouldn't care. If I really wanted it, it's like I was yeah, fuck it.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Give
If
me
I
this.
really, really wanted it, maybe then it would be like a thing. But like me, I'm just like, it's cool that that they respect the women. They treat them like human beings. I think that's really cool. That's the part that I enjoyed a lot. Was like they really frowned upon people who would take photos of the women. It was like, no, you owe them, privacy. They are people. You need to treat them with respect. And I liked that. That I liked a lot when I was in Amsterdam. However, I will freely admit to you that I did enjoy going to the coffee shop. I only went once, and I did the thing, and then that was it. For those who are not aware, a coffee shop is simply it's where you get the funny plant. Now, if you're wondering, well, wait, wouldn't you just get coffee? No, you don't get coffee. There's no coffee. There's the funny plant in the coffee shop. If you want coffee, you go to a cafe. Cafe, different from coffee shop. Anyway, I went to the coffee shop once, enjoyed the funny plant and a smoothie, and that was really nice, and it was enjoyable, and I was like, wow, this is so like nonchalant and, kind of very chill about it. Like people aren't taking things ultra seriously, and I really enjoyed that about about it. So there you go. That's my experience of the crazy stuff in Amsterdam, as in I didn't do anything crazy at all. Because I'm too
went
much of
all
a soy
out
boy.
on the
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, way too much of a soy boy. Let's see. Tony Coriolis says I'd agree. It would be very intimidating to go through it. All right. Anyway, John, did you have anything else that you wanted to mention?
No, that was everything.
Okay, cool.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. I'm trying to get through this time trial, Daniel. Do you see me playing? Do you see me slamming this through?
See you. I'm also playing Diablo in the meantime.
Are you really? You're still playing Diablo, mother?
I love this game, dude. It's
I know
this is
you
one of my
love this
favorite
game.
games of all time.
All
Like I just love it. And now that you rediscovered my passion of playing Diablo online. 'Cause
Diablo.
So the funny thing is, I never played Diablo 2 online.
Yeah.
Like on like a online server, I only played single player, not multiplayer. Or online play. And just having fun. I made my third character, which is a sorceress.
Yeah.
And I'm on my way to kill Bale on Hell difficulty.
Ah,
I mean, I'm
sick.
still second act, so it's
Look
gonna
at
be
you.
a while until I'm.
Look at you.
Yeah, I mean, it's a blizzard sorceress, like ice, not.
Not lightning, like me playing badly.
Oh, because I could have made it a lightning sorceress because I have my sundering charm.
Bobro says, "Wow, the rest of the Stalker games are on Steam, on sale. The newest Stalker on sale because that game was awesome. I really enjoyed that.
That was a good game.
Dude. I played the crap out of that game.
I mean, the
It's
first
so
one was
much
also
fun.
pretty good. I don't know. I really enjoyed the first one. Like Shadow of Chernobyl or whatever.
Yeah, no,
it's
I
called.
really did like
Don't
that
remember.
one. Yeah.
They're good games. They're good games, and I mean, it was really buggy. There was like a lot of bugs in that game.
Bro,
and,
every time, bro.
Sometimes you just be unlucky, but yeah. Otherwise, a really good game. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Let's see how much they are on Steam right now. That's gonna be interesting.
I can't.
I hope it's not like Blizzard, because if you want to buy Diablo right now, it's still kind of the same price that it was like when it was made, which is crazy.
That's wild.
For like a 20-year-old game.
Stalker 2 is apparently on sale.
What can you do?
I'm trying to beat this freaking time trial, but bro, I mean, it's kicking my ass as usual. I don't like that.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, my internet. Just I don't know if it was my internet. Kind of.
Oh, we're getting we got a
Doing,
hand up here. All right,
a
Magus,
bad
you're
thing,
being
but okay.
invited to speak.
Now seems to be better.
How you doing, Magus? What do you want to talk about?
Oh, I just wanted there are two things.
Okay.
First, I wanted to say a sentence.
Okay.
One sentence. I wanted to say hello to all of your viewers. Next up is Gate B, like burgers and fries, and
All right.
maybe I should go with next topic as B, like burgers and
Yeah.
fries. But
Our next
no,
topic.
what I want to go
is
about.
B. Good.
The thing is, I was reading today's news that Trump was moving marine marine and aircraft towards like Latin America for fighting the terrorist drug cartels. I still think it's pretty dangerous to declare criminal organizations as terrorist organizations.
Yeah, 100%. Couldn't agree with you more. What
I mean,
what brought
what's the
brought
next
you
step?
what brought you to that conclusion?
The thing is, like, for a terrorist organization, they should have like a political intention, or should have like a religious, or whatever an intention, like would make a change within the society they attack. But like they're not really attacking for like any such reasons. They go for money, and they're just criminals. And the problem is, what you have in your country with the Patriot Act is that the moment something is described as a terrorist, they can do whatever they want to these people.
Oh, I couldn't agree with you more. Yeah, I mean that's certainly been a huge concern on my end, but I mean this is kind of like the same thing with like calling people terrorists, or I'm sorry, calling people Hamas, for example. Like there's no way to differentiate between one and the other, like a citizen and Hamas. So like it's the same exact problem. I mean, we had this problem regarding our anti-terrorist campaigns as well. So it's it's for sure a huge issue in my mind.
I think it's just like extremely dangerous because like it opens the next step. Maybe next time it's not about criminals, maybe it's about political enemies. Are they now terrorists?
Ooh, look at this. We got Aristocrat who would like to join the
what
call.
What with trans people?
Huh? What is with trans
then
people?
I go down and you take Aristocrat.
All right. Sounds good, Magus. Good talking to you. All right, Aristocrat, you're being invited to speak. Aristocrat,
Well,
how
my
you
only
doing?
thing is why. Good. How you doing?
Good.
Long day.
No, not at all.
Okay. Good.
Having a good day, I think.
That's great.
What do you want
think?
to talk
You
about?
don't know, or just?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think. Yeah.
Yeah,
All right. That's what matters, right?
yeah. So what do you want to talk about?
So my thing is, I don't really care if we designate them as terrorists, because in a lot of ways they're a lot worse than terrorists in terms of what they do,
So,
and they
so can
definitely
you
are.
just for the sake of like any video, if we ever happen to make it, what are you referring to, like regarding terrorists?
Oh, sure. What do we like the definition?
Yeah. What did you
of
want to
terrorist?
talk about for starters?
That I don't have any issue with the Mexican cartels being considered terrorists or terroristic or any of that.
Okay, so you're saying you there's no problem with calling a Mexican cartel a terrorist.
No, and I believe that would be true in almost every situation. That
Okay.
it would be correct to call them terrorists.
Okay. How do you determine that they're a cartel member as opposed to not? From like just a regular Mexican.
If they, I mean, I'm not going to say that all Mexicans are terrorists. Obviously, it's if they have.
No, I know
a
you're
direct
not. I'm
affiliation.
saying like if you call them terrorists, then there's got to be a way to distinguish them against non-cartel members, I guess. Right? Shouldn't there be a
that
way
would
to
be
distinguish
for
them?
anything, right?
Hmm?
Well, it'd be nice if they all wore hats that said they're terrorists, but that's just not how the cartel works. It's not how.
Okay, so then we have
terrorists
no
work.
way to
It'd be really nice if
differentiate.
it was
So
very
the
obvious.
problem is we don't have a way to differentiate then.
No, not necessarily. I mean, we know if they are cartel members, if they're by affiliation and by various affiliation rights and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But yeah, in terms of you can't look at someone and tell if they're a cartel member. That's true of everything. You can't look at an IDF member if they're not wearing the uniform and say they're in the IDF or
Mhm.
any of that. So how do you determine it? Well, you determine it by if they have direct affiliation with them.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I suppose so. I mean, I'm not against like jailing cartel members, but I mean, the problem that I have is like, instead of wasting our time with the cartel, which ultimately they're just gonna, like, whoever you arrest, they're just gonna find somebody else to kind of take whoever was arrested's place. Why not decriminalize drugs and like look at it in terms of a form of rehabilitative effort?
Well, we already know that cartels still make their money in, for instance, California through weed trade, even though weed is legal. And they're growing. We know that they've been doing a lot of still illegal activities, even though we've legalized and made it cheaper and all this stuff. So it's never really about legalization because they're still going to exist, and they might exist even stronger. You've now legitimized them in a sense. So unless you make it free, unless you make all drugs free, then it's not going to fix the issue.
So you're saying that they're making more profits now that weed is legalized?
Not necessarily more profit. We don't obviously
So
don't
are
have
they
their
making
numbers.
less profit, or?
We don't know. I couldn't give you a I know that we
why
know
did
that they are
you-
still making a lot of money. Well, because I know
So
we
why
have.
did you say
we
that they're
have-
making a lot of money if you don't know their numbers?
Because we know they're making a lot of money based off
How do you
of
know
all
that?
the information. Well, I mean, I could say I put my trust in the reporter.
Maybe they're not
that
making
figured
any
out.
money on weed and they've just moved off to like other drugs.
Well, because the article specifically talks about weed, but
All right.
um,
Do you want to
I mean,
link the
I could-
article
yeah,
and we
fine.
could
Yeah,
we
I'll
could
find
pull
it
it up
for you.
together and read
Sure.
it?
Get on my computer.
It's a reputable source, right? Like it's not a.
I don't remember. Probably. I mean, I don't read like Fox News or anything. So.
Well, that's good. That's important.
Yeah.
This level is kicking my ass, bro. I'm trying to get a stupid plat trophy. Do you got the link?
I'm trying to find the right one. Unless you don't care if it's like local news.
Usually, honestly, local news isn't bad at all. There's nothing
Okay.
wrong with local news.
Okay, so let me pick one. Oh. Okay, so I have two. I have one from NPR and
Alright.
one from Nation.
All right, go ahead and
And
post it
they're
inside
both a little
chat.
bit different. This is the News Nation one is a little bit different, but now there's also Chinese money laundering that I didn't know about.
Let's take a look here.
Maybe that's not the right one. Let me keep looking.
Okay.
Oh.
A funny thing happened on the way to cannabis legalization. Illegal pot is still big business. In the decade since first states legalized recreational marijuana, half the country has moved to allow adults to buy regulated pot from authorized sources. But in some states, that's been more theory than practice. In New York, while legalized marijuana in 2021, retail sales are dominated by ubiquitous illegal smoke shops, while the state struggles to license legitimate ones. Governor Kathy Hochul had called its transition a disaster and had pledged to crack down on illegal settlers. A Maine congressional delegation last summer asked Justice Department for help in combating illegal cannabis producers, who outnumber the state's license operations and are believed to be funded in part by Chinese investors. In California, where voters approved recreational pot in 2016, state officials readily acknowledge the industry still operates mostly in the shadows. The black market is very pervasive, and it is definitely larger than the legal market, says Bill Jones, the head of enforcement in the State Department's cannabis control. California is the biggest example of the unfulfilled promise of a legitimate cannabis market. Some entrepreneurs blame high taxes and startup costs for licensed producers and retailers. Smaller operators often have trouble getting access to capital, and as continued federal prohibition on the marijuana business makes it virtually impossible for them to tap into traditional financial services. Jones, however, focuses on what law enforcement did, rather what it didn't do, in the first few years after the vote allowed licensed weed industry. Most jurisdictions, local jurisdictions, police or sheriff's departments, and district attorney offices were very reluctant to do any kind of enforcement on cannabis, he says. It was really created as an era of impunity, and the unlicensed activity really skyrocketed. Washington State, by contrast, maintained law enforcement pressure on illegal marijuana after voters legalized pot in 2012, which gave new licensed industry the time to establish itself. In California, the DCC is now trying to close the gap. It gathers anonymous tips about unlicensed cannabis stores, which operate semi-openly out in storefronts that aren't hard to identify. These occupy buildings where half the business itself is moved out or is out of business, says Wilson Linares, the DCC head of enforcement of Los Angeles area. His officers of the local police raided a shabby storefront in Long Beach. The sign reads, Flores Cabinets, but inside they find cannabis edibles for sale, as well as loose marijuana flowers sold in jars, a practice called deli style, prohibited under California's cannabis regulations. Linares says some of the unlicensed stores are identified with the Green Cross emblem borrowed from the medical marijuana movement that predated the recreational stores. Another clue, though, is the level of security. The ostensible cabinet store of Long Beach has a heavy metal door and security grates over mirrored windows. One of the biggest things that you could see is the cameras. The building itself is old, but the cameras are new. That's a pretty good indicator for us, Linares said. These raids have ramped up in the last couple of years, especially Los Angeles. Some of the unlicensed retailers have shifted towards delivery services, but the penalty for getting caught selling unlicensed marijuana is relatively light, usually a $500 fine. Unless the person has broken other laws, and Linares says his officers find themselves raiding the same storefronts over and over again. These places don't pay taxes. It doesn't help provide services for people who live around here, Linares said. And the individuals who run these places, they're often not the best. He says, gangs and organized crime. This doesn't come much of a surprise to The Economist. The black market's become more competitive, says Tiffany Peralt, a postdoctoral researcher at McGill University in Montreal who studies cannabis markets. She says it is understandable why illegal marijuana expanded in California after legalization. You remove risk because, it's legal, so you have more consumers, she says. And at the same time, your black market is going to react strategically by adjusting prices and levels of quality. The black market in California also benefits from the restrictions on licensed competitors, such as the fact that only 40% of jurisdictions in California permit cannabis stores. That leaves the other 60% of retailers who don't want to wait for official approval. California cannabis buyers are often unaware of or indifferent to the legality of the product they buy, nor do they notice prices. Depending on jurisdiction, taxes on licensed pot can reach 38%. I got a disposable and some edibles, says Cameron Remington, as he exits an authorized store on the edge of the town of Riverside. It's almost $60 for 2 items. That's a little more expensive here. He says he appreciates the fact that licensed products are tested for quality. It is what it is, he says. You can't go wrong with it. But cannabis, legality for its own sake, is not a concern for Remington. He volunteers that he grew it illegally on his land in a high desert during post-legalization boom a couple of years ago. He says it made money until police showed up half a year ago. We got ticketed for it, for having a couple of processed plants, but they didn't catch the bulk of anything, he says. And when they showed up for court date, the case appeared to be a low priority. They didn't even know who we were. Those raids are still happening in rural Riverside County. On a Tuesday morning, the Sheriff's Department marijuana enforcement team leads a 10-vehicle convoy through outskirts of the town of Paris. They're following up on a tip on a house that's hidden at the end of a private drive. The operation commander, Sergeant Jeremy Parsons, comes out of the main road to report that it is indeed an illegal grow. When we went up to the house and we could sell marijuana, we found a greenhouse in the backyard which contained a few hundred small marijuana plants, he says. They also found guns. They found the run of names of 2 people on the site to see if one is a felon and are not allowed to have a firearm. There's not a lot of criminal consequences for illegally growing marijuana, Parsons says, but the strategy here is to try to charge growers with other crimes. That's why the convoys of vehicles were so long, and it included people from California Fish and Wildlife and the local water board and even code inspectors. That's what we're charging these people with: water contamination, pesticides that are illegal, the fertilizers that are illegal. That's where we're getting people, says Riverside Sheriff Chad Bianco. But for Bianco, the bigger issue is the legalization itself. He's against it because he believes it encourages illegal pot farms in the hills of Riverside County. It made it worse, 100%. It made it worse. He says a big problem, as he sees it, is exports. California has become a major exporter of the states where marijuana is still illegal and fetches a higher price, despite the warning from the Justice Department back when legalization got started, and the states that legalize pot should make sure to keep it inside of their borders. Bianco says that the marijuana gold rush has attracted Mexican drug cartels and Asian human smuggling rings. I mean, we've had multiple homicides. We've had multiple kidnappings. We had multiple reports of human trafficking and rapes and punishments that will not be doing your job. And it's all related to this, Bianco says. Back at DCC, Bill Jones says that he thinks legalization was, as he puts it, imperative. But he also believes it would be possible to eventually curb the black market. I think it's doable. But it's going to take a lot of resources and consistent enforcement over years to get our arms around this, Jones says. Okay, so you're saying that, okay, since it has been legalized, all right, fair enough. You've corroborated your point. All right, continue.
And then just to sum up the second one, because so you don't have to read it, it's about cartels buying up land in California and then making weed farms because it was changed from a felony to a misdemeanor to grow illegal weed.
Okay.
Or something like that. It got put down a lot. So, point to why we should be calling them terrorists is not only are they committing terrorist acts in Mexico itself, which is enough to warrant to them to be called terrorists, even without any U.S. involvement, they are causing a lot of United States deaths through fentanyl distribution. I think
that's much more serious than pot, and I mean, fentanyl is definitely illegal.
I mean, yeah, it's still federally illegal for marijuana. For instance, you can't import marijuana.
No, I mean fentanyl.
States.
It's like much more illegal than.
No, it's much. Yeah, it's also much more dangerous.
Yes.
And almost all of our fentanyl comes from Mexican cartels.
Yes. Well, technically,
right.
It comes from China, but...
It comes from China, but it's sold through the Mexican cartels.
Yes. Okay, fair enough.
I mean, or not, but a large amount comes from the cartels, even regardless if they're not selling it through the cartels or anything else. So I believe that's enough to warrant... maybe not an invasion of Mexico. I think that goes too far, or anything like that. But to warrant them as a terrorist organization, I would say sure.
Yeah,
so,
I mean,
yes.
I guess I wonder into like what does that mean? Go into Mexico and invade and stop the terrorists?
It just means that we're going to be taking a more aggressive approach from the government, not like war on terror level, where it's super aggressive and
Yeah, so
overly
should we
aggressive.
have troops in Mexico?
If the Mexican government changes their mind, which I doubt they will, because I forgot her name, the president is very against it. If they are unable to deal with the Mexican cartels and then they decide that, okay, we can't deal with them, then yes, the U.S. should be placing troops in Mexico at some point to help free up some of the stuff.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. I don't think that leads to better outcomes.
Well, we could look at El Salvador and using.
I'd
the
probably be
federal
just looking
police
for less
program.
invasive ways to address.
Well, we've
the
already
problem
tried
you're
less
referring
invasive.
to. Yeah, I just don't think that hey, let's invade our ally. It seems kind of stupid. Very short-sighted.
Yeah, like I said, I don't think that we should be invading them without their permission. If the Mexican government, if it goes too out of hand, or the Mexican government changes their mind, and they say, please send U.S. troops to help, get rid of the Sinaloa cartel in Sinaloa, and all of whatever. I think that we should at that point step in.
Do you think it's possible that there's a transition period that happens regarding like weed growers, and that it's over time you would likely have less and less stuff like this over time?
Like I said, unless we make weed free and the government is distributing it and all drugs, then we will always
Or
see
just
an illegal market
lessen
and
the
a very rich
expenses for
illegal market.
licenses.
It doesn't really matter. We could do a lot of things, and there'd still be an illegal market just because it's already established. It's already pretty big, and it's just so easy to grow weed and to have illegal farms and to sell it illegally. And California is such a good place to do it because not only is it legal, but you can send the weed all around the United States from California. So I don't see a possibility of the illegal market dying down significantly, or even very small in small ways.
To me, I'm just thinking about what it would look like to I don't know, go into Mexico, even with Mexico's permission. I look at the current situation we're in to what we would get if we basically go your direction. And I think about those two societies and I go, I'd probably rather just leave it all alone. Is it the best situation? No, but I feel like that's definitely a better situation than, I don't know, raiding, Mexican towns, labeling them as terrorists, and then ultimately ending up in a guerrilla war with,
Right.
with cartels, as opposed to just leave it the fuck alone and then walk away.
Well, like I said, if it gets any worse, then we should do something. Right now, we're at a point where, yes, there's a lot of fentanyl. Yes, there's a lot of drugs. Yes, they're killing people, and there's a lot of gang activity, like the article said, rapes, trafficking. These are all terrible things.
Hold on. Just FYI, that was a guy that said that.
Yeah, the
article quoted a guy that said that. I don't agree with the whole rapes thing. I don't think that that's actually the case.
Well, we know that the cartel actively engages in human trafficking. I don't think that's...
That I would agree with, but the idea that they're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're bringing rape, I just don't agree with that. It's just not...
You don't think that the cartels are bringing crime? I mean, I could find a different article.
I'm saying that the rapist thing, I just don't find that to be credible.
Well, we know that, for instance, in those Mexican towns like Sinaloa, the rape, murder, and traffic rates are extremely high in cartel-controlled areas.
Yes.
So where the cartel
is... not in the United States.
Well, we don't know, technically.
Okay, so again, I get that the article said a thing, but it wasn't really the article saying that that's happening, but it was literally just a guy saying it's happening.
No, well, but he was I forgot who he was. He was the police officer, right?
Yeah, he's a police officer, and he was saying that they're bringing crime and drugs, and that's just the claim of one
Well,
dude, as opposed to
yeah,
like
well, let's
looking
correct,
at it
because
in
they're-
an empirical way.
Well, I mean, we can look at in Mexico, but like I said, there's no, it's really just his word against my word against your word. There's not really. We couldn't
No,
verify
I mean,
that every
I would
rape
want
or this rape or that rape is
statistics to prove that before we go. Okay, time to invade an entire country because one guy said a thing.
Well, that's
like,
not why
that's
we're
insane.
invading it. That's not why we would be invading it. The only reason to invade it would be the drugs. I don't really care. I really don't care if there's gangs of people raping people. I don't think that's a reason to invade a country. Like, oh, they're raping our people. Like, okay, that's not really human trafficking.
I mean, like we've been dealing with a
sure,
drug
but-
situation for decades, and it's like if I had to think like if we went in there and started like going after them and jailing them and stopping them and killing them or whatever, like military force, would it honestly stop the drug trade? Do you really believe that?
Wouldn't stop all the drug trade because
No, for sure. Well, it just wouldn't stop. It won't. It wouldn't stop. Period. No matter what you do.
Well,
it's like it's like a battle. It's like a battle with the Hydra. It just would not result in you being successful here.
I don't think that it's very possible that cutting off the head of the snake, which is what we did,
The head of the Hydra.
Sure, head of the Hydra, head of the snake.
I'm
It
saying
would not-
it's an appropriate story in the sense that when they cut the head off
an
of one,
appropriate
two more
story,
grow
but-
in its place.
If you destroy these very rich, very well organized cartels, you're left with very disorganized cartels, which I would say is a net positive, as they don't have the logistics anymore to smuggle in drugs. They're not getting money from Chinese investors, and they're not, there's no Chinese involvement since it would scare the Chinese away from.
I mean, you have this, like, I'm thinking in my head what this looks like just off the top of my head, just intuitively, what would this be like if in society A where we do this thing, and then in society B where we just kind of leave it alone. And I'm looking at society B is looking a lot better of a society.
Well, yeah, we could decide not to do anything and let it's like more than thousands of people die every year from
The
fentanyl
reason why you
overdose.
do something to begin with is to make things better, right?
Right.
We
so
don't
if
just
we
do stuff to
destroy
do it, right?
Fentanyl
We make
production. Well, if we destroy fentanyl production in Mexico, there will be less fentanyl. If we destroy
Why
the
not-
very rich cartels.
Why not emphasize our mental health in the United States? Like, why not work on that?
Because fentanyl is being put in everything. That's for starters. Is that you can literally put it in anything. It's such a small dose to kill somebody, and we're finding it laced in a lot of drugs. And
Yeah. So why are people taking so many drugs?
Well, I mean, mental health is in California. It has one of the best systems, and there's still people will do weed, right? I mean, and
Yeah.
weed's not a dangerous drug, but people are still finding fentanyl in it.
In
So that's my
weed?
point. Is fentanyl is not. Yeah, in every. I'm trying to tell you, fentanyl is in everything. We're finding it in everything.
Okay.
Because
Well,
it's so
I
cheap
don't
and-
agree with your idea of like, hey, let's invade Mexico for it.
For what?
Totally.
Well, we know it's
to-
coming from Mexico. We can say it's also coming from China.
Yeah, I get
but we
you.
know
You're
that
saying that, but like, I don't see how that results in a better outcome. Like, I just think that you're asking for a war on terror 2.0, and I just don't think that that's.
Well, you're thinking it's going to be like Al
intelligent.
Qaeda in Afghanistan.
I
But the
do.
difference is these
I
cartels
do
are,
because it kind of is that.
are much more obvious. Well, the cartels are much more obvious. They're much richer.
How do you know that?
and they have,
No. How do you? They take off their clothes. They're out of their mansion. They're now among Mexicans. Now what? How do you stop that?
Well, we know who the top people in the cartels are. We don't really care
What?
about the split.
Yeah, but like,
We know who the top people are in the cartels. That's all we
so
have
you
to go
think if
after.
you get
We
rid
don't
of the
care
top people, the cartels, that all of a sudden it's all better? That the drug war
Well,
ends?
let's look at Iraq, for instance.
Yeah.
We took out all the high command of Iraq, and
Oh
it fell
man,
apart.
here it comes. And then did we stop terrorism?
That's not the point. I'm saying
really, that's not
is
the point.
Because this is different. Terrorism can be happening.
No,
very
it's kind
cheaply.
of the same thing.
Drugs
Like
require-
I don't
drugs
think
require
you
business.
can. I don't think you can honest. Like, I'll just be honest with you. I don't think you can kill an idea. I don't think it's possible. You could sit there and bomb it until into the ground. It's never going to go away, right? And so then I ask myself, what does the better society look like? The one where we like police the cartel and go after them and jail them, and then we have like a giant, a drug war 2.0, except now this time military is involved versus not that.
Well, the difference between those two is there's a clear distinction between the terrorists in Al Qaeda and the terrorists in the cartel. For starters, it's much easier to spot the cartel. It's much more easier. We know where they are.
How do you spot a cartel?
Well, for instance, they have a lot of tattoos. That's for
What?
starters. They have very obvious tattoos.
As
You don't
opposed
think they
to
have
no
obvious
tattoos? You don't need
yeah,
tattoos to
that's
be in the cartel, dude.
That's a big part of cartel
You
culture.
don't
and
need to be
Mexican
you
cartel.
don't need to have tattoos to be in the cartel.
That's okay. I'm saying I'm not saying all of them do. I'm giving you a for instance of how you can spot them. I don't really care about spotting them because, like I said,
No,
it's
you
not,
should care because we don't want to kill Mexican civilians, right? So I think like the most important thing ever is to properly identify what a cartel is versus a not cartel. I think that's really, really important. Before you even remotely consider invading another country, probably figure out who you're going after, right?
Yeah, but that's ridiculous because, like you said,
No,
anyone can
that's
take
not
off-
ridiculous. That's
It is
very
ridiculous
reasonable. That
if you're
shouldn't be a
invading-
difficult concept.
It is a very difficult concept because what's
I
the difference
agree.
between
It is a very
soldier-
difficult concept.
Yeah,
That's why we don't
what's your
just
point?
invade like
No, What's
morons.
your point? You can't tell the difference between the only way you can tell a soldier apart from a civilian is their uniform. As soon as they take off their
Correct.
uniform, right? So you
Yeah.
could say that about any, right? So I don't get your point.
Yeah, that's why it's
You
really
also
important to
be
be
very-
aware that you can properly identify them. That's really fucking important. Otherwise,
that's
then you're
ridiculous.
then you're in a
Well,
nightmare guerrilla war where life gets a lot worse for a lot of people. And it's like it's totally unfeasible. This is kind of the problem between like the war in Gaza. You have Israel saying, "Hey, we're here to stop Hamas," but there's literally no delineation between Hamas and a regular citizen. It's the same problem. It's a huge
but my
issue.
point- Yeah, but that's an issue for every war, though. I don't.
No,
like, that's
it's
why I
not
don't
an issue for every war. No, it's not.
Of course, if you can
Well,
take off your
typically in
uniform,
war,
which is
people
against the Geneva Convention.
typically in war, people do have a uniform on, and they are recognizable from civilians. That's number one. The other problem is that you're talking about not war but guerrilla war. Big difference between those two things. A lot more
We're not going
casualties
after
in the guerrilla war part. And so the answer is that you're basically arguing that we need to involve ourselves in a guerrilla war all because people are shooting up. It's completely crazy.
I'm not saying go for the small fraud. First, let me back up. For starters, in the
Again,
last
there's
few
zero
major wars-
guarantee that it's going to
there's
actually
no-
do anything actually by going after the big fries. We've been doing
Well,
that
okay.
for decades, and we've successfully killed many top cartel officials,
We kill
and we
one
still
guy
have
every-
no, a lot more than that. We've been
we
doing
don't
the drug
drug out
war
people.
for decades, dude. We've killed all sorts of people. We've been
And we
completely
only
unsuccessful.
arrest the top person. That's why I said cutting the head off the snake, because that's what the CIA called it. And we only kill one person or arrest one person, and then the rest of the cartel is left to twiddle their thumbs and pick a new leader. That's what happens every time. We don't wipe out all the top people. We just wipe out the leader or the leader's second hand or the family. It's never the whole cartel's upper leadership, and that's why it's failed every single time.
Yeah,
if we
but
wiped out
I
the
just
whole
feel like
cartel,
people could just still go through there. Like I don't. Like just because you have, I don't know, like the
difference
cartel,
between
like you killed the
terrorism-
top leaders of the cartel. Like this is what I mean. It's like I feel like you're just cutting the head off the Hydra. I really don't believe that.
Yeah.
I think you need to rethink your position here because
I
it
don't
doesn't
think so, because the difference-
it does not seem to be remotely feasible. It really doesn't.
The difference between terrorism and making drugs is that making drugs is a very complicated and long process. And if you don't have the necessary material, logistics, ways to make it, places to make it, your product goes down in purity in every sense, in money, no one's going to buy it. So if you take out the leadership and those who create the drugs and those who facilitate the movement of the drugs, then it's over. You will not recover, and if you do, we just do it again. And that's not a very expensive process, and that's not a very long
I disagree.
process.
I think it's a very expensive process. We proved that through our attempts with trying to stop terrorism. I don't know,
Again,
man. We'll have to agree to disagree here.
No, because the difference between terrorism is anybody with a gun or a knife or a bomb can commit terrorism. It doesn't take a genius.
Yeah, it doesn't take a genius to grow some pot either. Like, what's your
Yes,
point?
it does.
No, it
I don't
doesn't.
know what you're talking about. To grow high level
not.
pot to compete with
It
with
doesn't
legal
take a
business.
genius to grow pot. I promise you that.
Of course it does.
No,
You've
it doesn't.
grown pot. I mean, like if you look up,
No, I don't
if you've
grow
ever
pot.
seen the process
I
of
would
growing
imagine
pot,
you're just growing a
very
fucking
complicated
plant, bro. It's a plant.
It's
I'm sure it's fine.
Cannabis is pretty easy to grow, by
not
the
that
way,
hard
from
to
a
grow.
technical perspective as
from a technical
a
perspective,
farmer.
to grow a lot of pot is
Yeah,
not
as
easy.
a farmer. No, as a farmer, well, growing anything in large quantities is not as easy as growing free plants. But that's besides the point. If you're comparing cannabis with like a lot of other agricultural products, it's pretty easy.
It's
All
not
right,
like
so-
growing
so-
tomatoes. I don't know where
Yes,
you
it's easier than growing tomatoes. It's literally easier than growing tomatoes.
you put tomato seed in the. I've grown so many tomatoes. I've tried to grow cannabis.
Cannabis is easier.
All
That's
right,
what I'm
we're
telling
just-
you. Cannabis is easier.
So we're getting
Growing one
off
cannabis-
topic on how to
Yeah, I
grow
don't-
things. Like, I just again,
To grow on a
like,
mass scale, it takes a
I
lot
mean,
of
I
money,
don't know
it
why
takes a
you're
lot of-
stuck on the hey, we got to do the anti-terrorism thing, and then like, I love that.
Well, all I
are
said-
you
I
an
said
American?
anti-
Are you
all I
from the
said-
United
yes,
States?
Yes, all I said was that we should.
Do you think
designate them
people
as
in
a
the
terrorist
United States would
organization
be in favor of this?
to go
Knowing
after-
what we know about anti-terrorism and all the wars we've been through, you really think that we're going to be for
Again,
that?
all I said was my only argument has been we should designate them as a terrorist organization, and that
Yeah.
if Mexico
and then what
like,
happens when you
and-
designate them
and
as a
if
terrorist
Mexico-
organization?
And if Mexico decided that they wanted to help with the cartels, that we would send troops on our allies' behalf to help them rid out the upper levels of the cartel and all their drug manufacturing and all of and whatever else is needed.
What
to
happens when you
dismantle-
label them as terrorists? What happens then?
What do you mean?
So we've labeled them as
Are you asking-
terrorists. Now what happens?
Yeah, the magic spell. Nothing happens.
No, I mean,
We just label them as terrorists. We
dude,
take a harder look at them.
dude. The
and we
next,
decide-
dude, the
we
next
figure out
step
how
in
we're
that
gonna
is
deal
you
with
go to
it.
war with them. That's literally what that is.
That's not true.
Yeah, it is. That's
Do you know how many
that's
terrorist
what the
organizations are on? No, it's not. How many troops have we sent into Yemen
none.
in the last 10 years? Okay, we've already designated Hezbollah and all of the other Middle Eastern terrorist organizations as terrorist organizations. So
Okay.
nothing happens when you say the magic word terrorism and you put it on. So nothing happens. But when we do say that, we take a harder look at them and we decide how we're going to deal with them. And you know, if they're a threat to us,
all right,
they are.
hold on. So we're going to decide how we deal with them, and then what?
And then we're going to start dealing with them. But that does
Oh,
not
okay.
mean
So the thing that I literally said
invasion.
would happen is it would
does not
happen.
mean an
Okay, that's the
invasion,
next
that's not-
step. All right, cool.
No, I just said
Cool.
it doesn't have
The
to- we're
very
not
thing
sending
I
people in
love
the-
that, man. That's fucking wild.
I just said no. I don't. You're like I don't even know what you're doing here. We
What?
do not
No,
send
you
troops into
said
Mexico.
no.
We have not
You,
sent troops into
you said,
Yemen.
and then we deal with them. The very thing that I was concerned
listen.
about.
Does that mean
Yeah, I think
Does
I
that
think
mean
I think
invasion? No,
I
it
think
does
I
not-
think
it doesn't
your
even-
your argument is completely illogical. I think like doing it your way would result in a lot of deaths, more so than I think you would be willing to put your name behind. A lot more. Yeah, I would say so.
Okay. So we should do nothing and just let them.
No,
continue
I
to-
didn't say
to
do
make
nothing.
money
I
and-
would look at like humanitarian approaches.
What you had said was, in my perfect world, we wouldn't do much about it. I'm looking at A.
No,
and
I'm
B,
saying if
and
we
the B
did
world is-
absolutely, I'm saying if we did absolutely nothing, it would be better than doing your plan. And I think I'm correct about
Yeah,
that.
that's what I. Great. So then we can
Yeah,
just
it would be
keep letting
be-
Americans die. Continue to let
No,
Mexico
I didn't say that. I'm
suffer.
perfectly okay with
I-
hey, let's come up
Well,
with
no,
solutions
you said
that
what you'd
actually
rather
lead to
have that, which is
beneficial.
the difference is
Yeah, I'm saying I would rather have the thing that
Yeah,
causes less
exactly.
harm. Yes, that's correct. That's exactly what I would do.
Yeah, which is doing nothing. It's
Yeah, it would
quote-unquote
be less
but
harm than to not do that.
nothing.
Yeah, I don't want to end up in a war with a
And-
cartel. I think it would be awful.
And it's destroying Mexico.
Yep.
And
Man,
I think that's
you got me,
terrifying.
man.
Terrifying.
All right.
No, I'm you saying like, oh, we should deal with them, and then you want to invade? No, I didn't say that. I said we should deal with them. What does that look like?
Yeah,
if that's what you're
I
asking.
think it's a humanitarian disaster. I think that, and
puncher
I find that
comes of
astonishing
all
that I'm hearing an American argue this when we've been in a war on fucking terrorism for decades, my dude, and it's not gotten any better.
Not
If anything,
even
we
wipe
keep
out-
throwing fucking money into a goddamn hole, and then it just burns another fucking dollar in our pocket, and it does fucking nothing. We have more terrorists than ever before. You can't kill ideas, dude. I really don't believe that.
Well, it's
That
not
is
ideas, and we're
100%
not
true,
keeping
bro.
them.
That we still have terrorists. What happened, dude? We have
First
so
of all,
many
it's not
fucking
more
terrorists we got to deal with in the U.S.
Not more terror. So let's deal with it. I don't know. You
Yeah,
think that
so
there's this
like,
idea that every
we're
terrorist
at
is
a
gonna
trillion. We're at $1 trillion a year. How many more? How much more? 1.2 trillion?
$1
How much
trillion.
more?
What
How
do you
much
mean
more do we
$1
need to
We are
implement,
not
right? To
spending
where
our
it's like
money.
we get rid of the terror. This is completely insane, man. Maybe we should look at rehabilitative approaches for the final
Why
fucking
would you
time.
rehabilitative approach? Who even cares? They're not going to stop.
We're gonna-
we've given them rainbows and cookies. They're going to stop selling drugs. Are you kidding? Look, come on. Don't be ridiculous.
Yeah, and
we need to do both.
yeah. I'm
And
done.
then
I'm done, man. I don't know what else to tell you. I mean, me. I could see what it. I could see what it looked. No, I'm not straw manning. I'm pointing out the ridiculousness of your argument. It's a ridiculous argument.
We're going to
Anyway,
say that.
I'm left at agree to disagree here, but I mean,
I don't know why
I'll
it's
give you the last word. Go ahead.
Putting words in my mouth.
Go ahead. You have the last
ahead.
word.
I don't want the last word.
All right. Goodbye. Oh, what do you?
No, that was a very useless conversation.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, it's like you're not gonna change his mind. He's gonna still think it's okay to invade Mexico. I mean, he kind of obfuscated around that because at first he said, "Oh man, no, it's like if Mexico invites us, and then he's like, well, if Mexico doesn't do anything about their drug, the cartel issue." So I don't know. It's like he's probably in favor of invading Mexico if somebody in the U.S. administration feels like Mexico is not doing enough to stop the drug trade, which, by the way, comes from a lot of other countries too, not just Mexico. So I don't know. Should you invade Canada because there's like drugs coming from Canada? Like, should you do that? Also, like, he's also divorcing the idea of like people going into the drug trade due to socioeconomic issues, not because they just love to deal drugs. No, it's just profitable. That's why they're doing it. They're doing it to make a buck.
Yeah.
It's so weird. It's like this idea that you could literally take a criminal organization and just label them as terrorists. I mean, we're just like
this is
in this world, like the word terrorist makes no sense. It's useless. It's a useless word.
I couldn't agree with you more, Daniel. Anyway, we'll leave it at that and we'll move on.
Yeah. Very weird argument.
Anyway, okay, so it looks like we got a couple of people that got their hands up in the audience. We also have the phone call, 202-998-5218. We're going to take another one of these hand ups here. Corporate, you're being invited to speak. Corporate, come on up.
Hello, how are you guys?
How you doing? What do you want to talk about?
So I actually raised my hand because I wanted to ask you something regarding the previous topic.
Okay.
So first, I want to just preface with I actually agree with you. I'm not for the invasion of Mexico.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I don't think he even argued the invasion of Mexico. I think what he did argue instead was like we should label them as terrorist organizations. I just think that like that leads to the invasion of Mexico and an invasion on terrorism, and it's like I just think it's completely untenable.
Well, no, I agree with you. I was just prefacing my position, What I wanted to ask you is really about Mexico's, I guess, culpability in the situation to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
The cartels, correct me if you think I'm wrong, are primarily based in Mexico.
Okay.
And I would say that they have a huge
They're
amount
in
of,
multiple countries in South America, but
but the
go
ones
ahead.
that are directly influencing the U.S., at least
Eh.
most directly.
I mean, like, there's Colombia as well. There
Well,
are multiple cartel members, like that are
But our most immediate neighbor is Mexico.
sure, but we live in a world where there's planes.
No, 100%.
So everything is close by.
It's more to get at something else. I'm just using Mexico as an easy example.
Okay.
Right? So say you have a neighboring country that has these cartels producing the drugs there, and they're directly coming into your country, causing the deaths of many of your citizens, and to the horror of, like, say, again, and Mexico is an easy example, of the Mexican citizens, these cartels have because of their money, have a huge amount of influence in law enforcement, government, that I think we would agree criminal organizations shouldn't have. So I want to ask you what you think the viability of solving, or at least pressuring, these countries that host these cartels through diplomacy into cracking down on these cartels. As
totally.
clearly,
that's that sort of thing. Totally viable. I'm not against that. Makes sense.
My question is, like, what would your approach be? As you mentioned in the previous discussion,
Well, I would get Mexico involved. I would see, like, okay, what are some, like, actual viable approaches? What have we not tried? Can we bring in experts that actually know about what is going on regarding the cartel? Are there people that are, doctorate level who would be in criminology as well as economics that could help assist us, Like, I would go, like, okay, I would need this to be a very empirical approach. And it's like, what would be, like, I would look for, like, the best thinkers for that, and then come up with a viable solution that way.
right? But a concern I would have is, I think we agree that the cartels, much like corporations in the United States, have a huge amount of influence through lobbying, through money.
Oh, you would think that they have a huge influence in Mexican government. They don't. That may have been true in the past. That is not the case today.
So can you elaborate? As I'm assuming
Mexican cartels have far less foothold into the Mexican government than they did in the past.
But how do we know this?
Because I don't know how we know this. This is corroborated based off of, I don't know, what I've read on the internet. Like, I don't know.
I mean, fair. It's like my position stands on the same.
I mean, if you want me to figure out, like, what exactly, like, I guess I could, but I don't know what good that's going to do us, I suppose.
I mean, even if we operate with that assumption, let's say we operate with that assumption, how viable do you think it would be to actually, instead of directly invading, I genuinely think Mexico isn't equipped to combat the cartels or the Colombia or any of the South American countries. The cartels are much more dangerous, I think, that people give them credit for, despite they're fully armed, be it with military-grade equipment. They have trained militia. They are essentially a small military.
You think hold on. You think that they're unequipped? Why are they unequipped?
Because unlike the organized nature of the military, the cartels are spread out very widely. And I think just you have really no way of pinning down their combatants without severely putting your civilians at risk. And maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, like, what levels of technology is available to different countries' militaries.
Do you think Mexico is like a third world country?
No, I just don't. I just don't think.
I just have a feeling that you, like, watched Breaking Bad, and like everything's like all orange for some reason, and you just think that that's and that the cartel just have all the power on planet Earth, and they could just tell.
I have not watched Breaking Bad, but no, my basis for this assumption is that the cartels have been an issue in these South American countries for decades, and they have not been able to stop them, be it through law enforcement or legal action.
Well, I mean,
right?
it's kind of like here in the United States, we have all of the military might in the world, and yet, you know, we still have gangs. We still have MS-13. Like, why can't we stop them? We must not be a very good country, unable to. You see what I mean? Like,
I'm not making any claims about the quality of their government or the country themselves. And yes, we have. I just think it's harder to take hard action on domestic issues in general, right? So what I'm trying, back to my original question is, what I was trying to ask initially before I went off on a rant, is do you think cooperative action militarily, meaning instead of like Trump going batshit insane and sending the U.S. military into Mexico, instead propose a cooperative action with Mexico's military, a joint operation, so to speak?
yeah, I mean, like I said, I would want to, before I ever consider anything remotely like that, I would need to definitely get with experts that, like, I would exhaust all, I'll be honest with you, I would exhaust all other options before any semblance of military intervention is appropriated.
But do you not think that the cartels having been an issue for so long, that this work has already been done?
No.
To some extent?
No, I don't think so.
So what specifically would you want to know before such action is taken? Like, what information?
I would need to see, okay, well, what have we tried? Get experts involved, get a modern solution to the modern problem, and then figure it out from there. But I would absolutely exhaust every single option before military. It's not even close.
So this is anecdotal, but I've been to Mexico. I went for my brother-in-law's, his bachelor party. And
it's nice there, isn't it?
I went to Cancun. It was pretty nice. It was a good time. But there is one thing about my experience there that I think speaks volumes about. Now, granted, this is a biased perspective, as Cancun is primarily a tourist destination, and how it's handled probably reflects that. But throughout my stay there, it was about 2 weeks, you had, I think, pretty much every night we went out, bar hopping or the clubs, pretty much every single night, we had people approach us multiple times throughout the night offering cocaine, marijuana, other drugs, sex, prostitutes, pretty much whatever you could think of was regularly offered to us. Like, it's just as a group of young guys right in front of law enforcement.
Okay.
Right? So that experience just gave me the impression that law enforcement couldn't really do anything about it. There was even one instance we had just finished drinking at a club. Cops were literally parked in front of the club. Guys come up to us, offer us coke right in front of the officer's face, and nothing is done.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what exactly is going on with that, but that would be something to discuss, I suppose, regarding the
Again,
cartel situation.
Anecdotal experience, right?
Yeah, I mean, maybe I'm saying, like, okay, if that's like a rampant issue, then great. That's a pretty easy thing to solve.
Right. Well, I pretty much said everything I wanted to say.
You realize, like, that, like, hey, reform the way that the justice system goes after the drugs. In Mexico is like that's monumentally better than let's label them a terrorist organization.
Well, whole thing with terrorist organizations generally, it's kind of one-sided, right? For example, depending on where you go, a terrorist organization to one country is a humanitarian organization to another.
Mhm.
It's just an excuse to give powers to a government to act certain ways within their legal system.
Yes. Which is
Right.
terrible. We shouldn't have that.
Although I would say in some circumstances it is justified, and others it's not. But
Yeah, I mean, I've seen what happens when we just label something as a terrorist organization, and then it usually results in some pretty negative outcomes that I don't find to be very good.
yeah, especially like with the U.S. history of regime change,
Yeah.
it's always backfired. You just replace the regime with another one, and it just does the same garbage all over again.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I've pretty much like said everything that was on my mind on the topic. If you have any comments or thoughts on what I've said, but I don't really have.
I mean,
anything else to
obviously,
add.
like your solution is already like a lot more reasonable than label them as a terrorist organization. That's my only comment I would say. Like, I don't know why. Like, I don't know if this person was a right winger, but it's really common that right wingers they tend to like go for like the most draconian solution to like the relatively benign problem, or like a problem that is likely solved with
I mean,
with a lighter touch approach.
I'm a right winger that voted for Trump, right?
I'm sorry.
Like,
do you regret your vote?
Yes and no.
Really?
So, like,
yes and
no.
no.
Still
Where's
think,
the yes? Oh no.
Oh no, as in that. I still think it's turning out better than it would have under Kamala.
Wow.
But I disagree with a lot of the choices Trump has made.
Why do you think it would have been worse under Kamala?
It's generally just a values and policy issue. Like,
Values? What values do you think Trump holds?
Trump himself, not. Like, I didn't vote for Trump because I think he's like a good person, like, or a role model.
So you were concerned about the values, but you vote like. Do you honestly believe that Trump has better values than Kamala?
It's not about the personal values that.
Okay,
Trump
so
holds.
then what is it? So what is it, right? Because you said values, now it's not values. So what is it?
No.
Genuinely curious. Like I don't. The yes and no, like that blows me away. Like I'm seeing what Trump is doing, and I'm like, holy crap, dude! Like I can't think of a single justification.
So, first of all, I think you would agree with the statement that you can agree with something someone says or represents, while disagreeing with plenty of other things that person has done and said.
I can agree with what? Repeat that. What?
You can agree and support someone for something in a general sense without endorsing or agreeing with everything they have said or have done.
Okay.
Would you agree that's a fair statement?
But yes.
Right. So when I said values, I was referring to the fact that Trump was representative, or to be honest, the only option for the right. We didn't really have an alternative that had any chance of winning. So to push,
I mean, like if I had to pick, like in terms of values, like I mean, if I was a conservative, I would be like, I need to like not vote.
Well, would you agree?
Like I just wouldn't vote the literal like moron psycho that is got like a power trip.
Well, dude, if I have a voice, I'd rather use it for something that slightly fits my perspective than something that, rather than not say anything at all.
Dude.
So,
well, I hope you enjoy what you got, because the world is laughing at us right now.
I'm very happy.
Do you know how many people were positive, or do you know how many people spoke to me about Donald Trump in the Netherlands?
No, I do not.
All right, there were more than a few. Do you know how many people said something positive about Trump?
No
in the
idea.
Netherlands? The answer is 0. There wasn't a single person that was like, wow, what a great president. Every single one of them looked at me the sentiment was the same. It was like I would sit there and tell them where I am from, and then they would go, "Oh, your president is not very nice." Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, they would say things like that, and I'm like, "Yeah, I know, I'm aware. He's awful, and I hate him."
I kind of just want to respond to something one of the commenters said.
Okay.
Just because he's saying I'm voting for Trump because I like one party more than the other. This might surprise you. I'm an independent. I do not like the Republican Party at all, or the Democrats. I hate them both. But I am a traditionalist and a conservative and very religious. So I tend to side with the right more than I do the left, but I don't really consider myself a member of either party.
What a shame.
Just to clear that up. So, but First Amender, you would agree that if you're anti-immigration, if you're a conservative, you're a traditionalist, you would agree that Kamala is not a good representative for that worldview, that way of life.
I suppose so, but I mean, then again, I'm a
So
human rights kind of guy, and so Kamala was like an obvious no-brainer for me. Like, I thought she would have been a great president. I think it would have resulted in some pretty substantially, very high quality of living standard increases in comparison to Donald Trump. And by the way, economists agreed with me. They basically were saying, yeah, that the economy would be better off under Kamala's policies. Like, they sat there running numbers as to like which policies would result. Like, they were like, tariffs, this would be bad for the economy, and they're not wrong. They're not wrong. They are bad for the economy.
Yeah, so I can't comment on that because I'm not very knowledgeable on economics. It's not my strong suit, so I can't really answer you there.
You don't need to be super knowledgeable. You could just open your Econ 101 textbook that'll tell you all about tariffs. There's always a deadweight loss.
Right, but I prefer to have an opinion on something that I fully understand and I'm well read on, right? Like, I don't think I'm in a position to argue economics at all, personally.
Okay.
So I just want to be intellectually honest there.
Okay.
My vote wasn't based on economic factors.
Yeah, you're not kidding. Couldn't agree with you more there.
Right. So it would be dishonest of me to try to argue for whose economy was better or worse.
All right. So what did you want to? I'm sorry, I was railing on you for having voted Donald Trump. I
think that's I'll be honest. I think that's a very negative approach to talking to people who voted differently than you. I don't I'm not going to crap on someone, who voted for Kamala.
To me, it's like the problem that I'm having is the amount of just human rights nightmare violations that, honestly, if you saw any Democrat doing the same thing, I think Republicans' heads would just be exploding in anger. Hell, my head would be exploding in anger. I would be like, why is this Democrat going against basic human rights? I'd be like, this is not a Democrat. This is an authoritarian. We need to stop this guy. And it's Republicans just seem to kind of they're literally that dog in the comic where they say this is fine while the entire room is on fire. And I don't really understand the perspective at all.
You realize that the whole thing is a matter of perspective and worldview. Right, they feel the same way about.
Yeah, they could just say this is fine, but empirically speaking, I don't feel like making more prison camps is going to lead to better outcomes. I don't feel like having this huge crackdown on immigration which we can empirically show leads to better outcomes. Having immigration leads to better outcomes. No matter how I like try to get the ball to fit, every single one of these things don't lead to better outcomes. And no matter how no matter how many studies I show or what I present, right-wingers are not interested in studies. In fact, they'll gladly tell me that that's just woke science, right? Or like that's just junk science is the latest thing that they like to tell me.
So,
I don't know what else to say to these people. How can I reach these people knowing that facts are a secondary factor?
well, let me ask you. Maybe I don't know. Maybe you have heard it. I don't know. Like you've probably spoken to enough. But my reason for being anti-immigration is the principle of the matter. A country has the right to decide, just like a homeowner has the right to decide who comes into your home and who doesn't. And you have a border to protect.
You're breaking up. Daniel, are you there? Is he breaking up for others? Or Daniel? Did I just like lose complete connection? Hello? I don't know what happened. I can't hear anybody. I can hear my game, so I know my headset's fine. Something happened with Discord? What in the world? We can hear and see you, says Bobro. Okay, I think Discord's taking a shit. Is First Amender's voice low? I hope not. I don't think it is. Can you all hear? Okay, disconnecting. Join stage.
Stance in general for immigration.
Ah, there it goes.
It's pretty much how.
I don't know why it did that. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, Commander had to drop up.
All
I
right,
couldn't hear
can
anything
you-
either.
Yeah, can you repeat where you were at? I'm sorry.
Where did I leave? Cut off.
It sounded like that you were trying to explain your perspective as a, like, I guess for voting for Trump and your immigration. Like you were saying, like,
So
that people should be, like, you should keep your house secure or something like that.
I'll repeat it. Basically, a country, just like a homeowner, has the right to know who a person is and decide whether they should or should not be allowed into your home. And generally speaking, when you have a huge amount of people coming in, mostly motivated, like I think a lot of these people that come to our country are used by companies for cheap exploitative labor. A lot of them are victims of the cartels, often sending money back to Mexico, Colombia, or Guatemala, these other countries they come from. Otherwise, their families will be killed. It costs money to be.
So is your concern that
smuggled.
they're being exploited?
They are being exploited.
No, I'm
If you-
asking, is your concern that they are
It's one of them,
exploited?
yes.
Okay.
It's one of them, but there's also
Because I
It's one of
venture to
many.
say that is not a motivating factor for you. Because, like, if I sat there and told you, "Hey, let's have worker unions," you know, at a federal level, you probably would say, "Well, I don't agree with that." So I don't think that it's a motivating factor for you.
well, I was adding more. That was just one of many.
Okay. And then the other problem that I'm having is, like, I'm not necessarily against having a tightly controlled border. I just think that there needs to be a very clear pathway to citizenship that regular people can understand and don't require a lawyer
So,
to interpret the law on their behalf.
A pathway to citizenship is fine, but you can't be offering a pathway to citizenship to people after they've broken in. That's basically rewarding people
What?
ignoring our immigration system.
No, like if they're entering in illegally, I look at that as like, okay, why are so many people entering illegally? And so I look at what are the environmental factors that cause that to be the case. I don't care what's fair or not fair. I'm looking at it, how do I solve the problem? Right? I think like jailing a bunch of people is just going to end up with some pretty nasty humanitarian right violations and ultimately just make life worse for a lot of people on the basis of xenophobic intent. I want life to be better for people. So then I go, okay, well, we can address, I don't know, people who do crimes in the United States, but like at the end of the day, people doing crimes people crossing the border in the United States, that's a misdemeanor. That's not even a felony. You elected a president who is a felon.
So, a very basic issue.
Should a felon be president?
Well, yes, actually. Technically, yes. Legally speaking, there's.
Do you understand like you don't want people committing a misdemeanor, but a felon can be president?
I mean, I disagree with the assertion that he's a felon.
No, he was tried and convicted, 34 counts of a felony, but he was he's able to challenge this because he's president.
Okay, well,
so
it's a
he is a felon for sure. That's not up for debate as to whether or not he is a felon. He is a felon, right? So the problem that I'm having is that you seem to be very interested in the law regarding a misdemeanor being broken, but when it comes to a felon being president, you seem to be perfectly okay with it. I'm just a little lost as to the inconsistency there.
So I don't view it as an inconsistency because I'm of the opinion that it was lawfare and politically motivated, which is a separate debate topic. Yes, I don't think...
There was a jury of his own peers. It was adjudicated in a court of law with evidentiary hearings, with testimonies and counter-testimonials, and then jury of his own peers, randomly selected of various political origin, and they all unanimously believe that he was guilty of the 34 count of felony.
Yeah, I just don't agree. So
you believe that was a kangaroo court?
Yes, I do. Okay. And we can agree to disagree on that. Yeah,
that's wild to me. I can't imagine how that works in your brain. Like you seem to be very into this whole law and order thing. But let's be honest, between you and me, Donald Trump is not a law and order kind of guy.
Right. Like, that's fine. I'm trying to focus on the immigration issue. We can disagree.
I get that. I'm just saying, like, I don't know if, like, number one, the breaking of the law is not a motivating factor to you. As well as number two, the human rights violation is also not a motivating factor. So I'm exactly curious as to what could be the underlying motivating factor that causes you to say, well, we need to have we need to jail people for coming into the country illegally.
So for starters, I don't think it's fair of you to assert my motivations based on something that we already established we disagree on. Right? I don't think Trump was treated fairly under the law, right? And then you're using that disagreement to assert that I don't realize that
Donald Trump claims that everything is rigged against him whenever he loses, right?
Oh, sure. I think he's an egomaniac.
Literally that's literally his modus operandi. And the only person that basically was saying that it's rigged was, guess who? Donald Trump. And then Fox News followed suit. So I'm a little lost. Again, he definitely was tried and convicted of those things. So, I mean, I don't think that whether or not that they broke the law is a motivating factor to you. You seem to be perfectly okay with things breaking the law so long as it suits your values.
I am not. And again, we disagree fundamentally on the Trump issue, right? But again, I want to focus on the immigration issue.
Okay, but I mean, I just
something
sounds to me like some
on.
cognitive dissonance in my mind. I'm listening to you talk about it, and my solution is right now the way that our legal system is completely broken. The way to resolve this is pretty simple. You basically need to reframe the system where it is actually easier to actually understand the system itself. If it is easier to understand the system, then people can follow the rules properly. If they don't know the system or how to do it, then they often will just go to path of least resistance. It ends up taking 5 + 10 years to be able to even get accepted. And then they just go, fuck it, I'm just going to cross the border illegally. This is really, really common because the system is super convoluted and broken, whereas we can have like viable pathways to citizenship that make it easy.
Okay, so you would want immigration reform in general?
Yeah, of course. But we can't even talk about this because Republicans would rather, I don't know, make concentration camps instead.
See, I'm not opposed to immigration reform if it's done properly. My issue is that you can't just ignore the system entirely and then reward the people that break it.
I never said to reward them. I said I believe that they are a factor of outcomes in society that we've created ourselves. That's what I believe that.
So I don't disagree with that entirely. I think one of the greater motivating factors and one of the biggest, I think, people that are actually responsible for this are corporations that hire them in the first place, right? They provide them work, and I think we should be punishing companies for hiring illegal immigrants. I think that would slow down immigration naturally. As there's nothing to reward them.
Punishing corporations for hiring immigrants? Well, you better get on Donald Trump on that one then.
Oh no, 100%.
I mean, he's got lots of illegal immigrants working in his buildings and taking care of his houses, and yeah.
I don't know why you keep jumping back to Trump when I've said multiple times I disagree with him on a lot of things.
Yeah, well, I just want to make sure it's consistent, I guess.
I mean, sure, right, but again, like, you can't have a huge amount of people unchecked, regardless of whether you agree.
No, I think that we just need to have a simple system. Here, you want me to tell you my system? You want to know how I do it?
Well, I would like to be able to at least finish a thought,
Sure.
So you can't have a huge amount of unchecked immigration where you don't know who these people are. And as much as you might disagree with our current immigration system and want reform, which is completely fair, you can't then, before that happens, you can't provide people that have broken our system, no matter how difficult it may be, with something that would only further motivate them, a pathway to citizenship. If they voluntarily leave or are deported, then they should be given an option for citizenship. But
hot take. I think you need to look at them with more sympathy. I do. I believe that.
I don't believe someone's personal circumstances, no matter what their motivations may be, no matter how noble or good, is a reason for a country to allow strangers in.
Let me ask you this: Why do we have rules? What's the point of what's the point of like enforcing rules? Would you say?
In general,
why do you think we have rules? I believe that we have rules because it makes society better to have rules and follow them. Right? That's why we have rules, to follow them. But I'm curious as to what you think it is.
I really think rules are just to maintain order, stability.
Okay, but why do you want that?
Generally because anarchy just leads to massive chaos. Death.
Okay, so we're in the same spot where it's better outcomes.
A good example. No, a good example.
No, not better outcomes. Oh, okay.
No, that's not what I'm. Let me
All right,
clarify.
so then then why do you have order, right? If it is not for better outcomes,
So
why?
a good example, a good analogy for this is our justice system. Like I believe the purpose of a justice system, in my opinion, is to take the responsibility of revenge away from an individual. Right, where
You're not understanding why. I'm not asking how. I'm asking why.
Why?
Yeah, why? Why do you
Why?
have order?
Well, I was trying to make an analogy for that.
All right.
So, again, going back to my example, the justice system, the reason we have it's an analogy for why. The reason why we have a justice system is to take responsibility away from individuals for something like vengeance. If somebody kills a family member, without a justice system, that individual will be both morally and emotionally obligated to do something about it. However, that just creates an endless cycle where people just end up killing each other on repeat. You kill my guy, I'm going to kill your guy, rinse and repeat. Having an external third party act as a mediator for that issue removes the eye for an eye, the obligation of the individual to do something about it, and vice versa, where it just becomes an endless conflict.
Okay, but that doesn't really explain why.
Well, that is why.
Okay, so the why is that if we don't do it, it's worse outcomes.
Sure.
Okay, so that we're back to exactly where I'm at. So if the purpose of you would agree then the purpose of justice is to lead to better outcomes.
Generally, yeah.
Okay, cool. So we have this really convoluted system of immigration enforcement that effectively creates a ton of illegal immigrants. People overstay their visas. They overstay the work visas, the travelers' visas. They're legally allowed to enter into the country. Then they try to get citizenship, but because they try to go and get any kind of green card status, a T or a U visa or whatever, there's a lot of paperwork. They miss paperwork. They end up becoming an illegal immigrant. Then they just kind of go, screw it. I need to work here and make some money. And then we look at this person and they're like, okay, well, that's not a good person because of that. And so what we do is that we make some concentration camps, put them into the camps. Do you see how this is not leading to good outcomes? This is leading to very bad outcomes. Whereas what I would say is okay, let's say a person, even if they deliberately and illegally entered into the country, the problem that I'm having is that more often than not, they're just working. And so it's like, okay, well then what do we offer them? I don't know, maybe a viable pathway to citizenship or a way where they can become legal into this country. Why not make it to where it's a very simple system to come into the United States on a port of entry? So I'm going to give it to you right now, right? Here's what I would do. You go to the port of entry. They say, do you have any communicable diseases? No? Okay, cool. Are you on the OFAC list? Are you on the no-fly list? No? Okay, cool. All right. Are you convicted of a crime in your home country? And then they'll check some criminal databases and go, no? All right. Here's your green card essay. You can work. That would be it. That would be the whole thing. There would therefore be basically zero or very little illegal immigrants. I wouldn't need concentration camps. People can work. Boom. We have a better society.
Okay, I want to ask you, for clarification on exactly what outcomes you consider to be beneficial from immigration and what outcomes that you consider bad? And why?
Outcomes that I would consider beneficial for immigration. I would say economic benefits and the ability for people to trade and have money flow throughout the economy. Yes.
And what outcomes would you say would be a negative consequence of immigration?
People would see more brown people around them, and I suppose some people think that's negative.
So I think that's where our disconnect comes in. I don't agree that those are like, I don't think immigration is required for that. Your example of a good outcome, and I don't for example, I would prioritize, for example, in the United States.
If you have more trade in a country as opposed to less trade, it's going to be beneficial outcomes.
No, not necessarily.
Yeah, no, that's unironically how it works, economically speaking.
No, because if you have...
I'm telling you, if you pick up your economics journal, actually, you don't even need an economics journal. This literally just makes sense intuitively. You don't need, like, you just have more people that are trading in the economy, which bolsters up business. Business does better as a result. If people are not just working, but they're also consuming. It's beneficial for everybody. Businesses do well. They hire more workers. More people are able to work. There's more businesses. And in fact, some immigrants even start businesses. Even low skill, this is the case. This is the case for many low skill workers.
Okay, so you're essentially saying it increases our GDP, therefore it's better outcomes.
No, I'm not saying it increases GDP. It increases overall trade. It's not necessarily GDP. I personally believe that you cannot do the things that you find valuable if you do not have access to the resources to do so. You need access to food, you need access to shelter, you need access to clothing, you need things in order to kind of like live out the things that you find valuable. And the only way that those actually even get met is that there needs to be the invisible hand flowing freely where people can trade with one another. And I think that like having the restriction on immigration empirically results in worse outcomes.
Okay, but are you willing, let's say I grant that for the sake of argument. Are you willing to have this improvement in trade at the cost of other people? For example,
I mean, to me, like you're barking up the right tree because that would be a concern, perhaps regarding worker rights. I believe that there's a lot more have-nots than haves, and it has resulted in some pretty negative outcomes for a lot of people. And I think that we need to have unions. We need to take another look at unions again and reconsider what we want in our society.
Right. So here's the thing, right? One thing I don't think you're accounting for is, one, I mentioned it already, how a lot of these people, while it does open up more trade, it's done at the expense of these people's rights, right? So
yeah, that's why you have unions.
Right, but you can't, if you're not a citizen, you're not joining a union.
But we just discussed how they would become citizens and have green card status. So yes, they can join the union.
And when these people come here, well, that would be after the fact, right?
Yeah, we would just give them a simple pathway to citizenship. I already detailed how it works.
Right. And generally, when you have all these people coming in, you don't account for the cost it has on people that are already citizens.
So if there's a problem regarding like businesses or whatever, there's not enough businesses or general, schools or whatever, then great. I'm going to release a big giant infrastructure bill that ensures everybody can get what they need. Like this is not difficult. We've done this in the past. We've done it many times.
I'm going to interrupt you here. I want to point something out. Like I've tried my best to ignore it, but throughout our conversation, like every time I begin speaking, like I'm very frequently cut off. Right? Like, and I've tried to be like, to accommodate it as much as I can, but I'm cut off too often. Right?
You're being cut off right now?
Even if you agree with me, I very rarely get to finish a thought.
I
throughout this conversation.
feel like I've been giving you plenty of time to talk, but okay.
No, I think it's I think I've been very fair, like on that generally, but I start a line of thought and it gets cut off.
I mean, again, I don't really understand exactly where you're coming from here. I mean, I'll be honest. If you want, like me personally, I think a lot of this stuff, it comes from a genuine xenophobic fear. I believe that. I believe that that's a majority of Republicans when they argue that they don't want illegal immigration. I don't think it has anything to do with worker rights. I don't think it has any, they're going to take my job. Because the reality is empirically that doesn't even happen. And even if I show them that information, they don't acknowledge that, and then they just keep doing the same stupid arguments over and over. I mean, it is never ending. I don't know what else to tell you, and I don't find this particular conversation to be convincing either, sadly.
All right, well, we'll agree to disagree then.
Did you have anything else? I'll give you the last word.
No, you can give someone else a chance to speak.
All right. You have a great day.
How do I
got you, buddy.
You can just go down. Like right click.
All right,
Yep.
we got some other people. We've got let me see here. Hey, whoever called, call in again. Phone number 202-998-5218. We're gonna give it a moment. I'm gonna let the calls go through. Dude, I am having a hell of a time on this level. Are you seeing me like just
Yeah, I can
grind
see
my
that.
face into this level?
I mean, some levels are just hard.
We are
You
taking
need to get
calls.
the
So
timing.
call in 202-998-5218. I do want to hear what you have to say. Argue with the soy boy liberal. I'm right here, baby. Hello? Anybody? No calls? We're going to give it like 20, 30 seconds. And if we get nothing, we'll go ahead and take somebody from the Discord audience. But yeah, man, I'm just ripping my hair out over this stupid level, bro.
Yeah. I mean, this is the thing with platformers, right? It's all about the timing. It's all about
Bro, I missed a
And
second.
also, you have to do it on like a specific time, right?
Yeah, no, I got it. There's like a specific time I'm supposed to reach, and it's like really freaking hard. But honestly, I shaved off a couple seconds there, but I lost a second from one of the clocks. So I don't know. I'm just going to push forward and see what we get. Maybe we get lucky. Go, 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 bitch. No, I was supposed to jump on him. Okay, sorry. All right. We didn't
Doesn't
get any
work.
calls, so no problem. No problem, no problem. Let's go ahead and we're going to bring in Twav. Twav, you're being invited to speak.
Hello,
Hello, Twav.
how you doing?
What would you like to talk about? You're on with a soy boy
Yeah.
liberal. First
Yeah, I was
Amendment.
wondering. I noticed you've been talking about abortion recently, so I'm
Yeah.
curious, like, what is your motivations or your reasons for having abortion remain legal?
Yeah, I think.
Depends on what.
Yeah, I think. I believe in like the autonomy of bodies, and I believe that the autonomy of the mother is higher than that of the fetus. I don't believe that anybody has a right to destroy the body of other people, which would also include a fetus's ability to maim the body of the mother. I think the mother is ultimately the one who has to consent to that. And I don't believe that consent is granted through sex, because I don't believe most sex results in pregnancy, even unprotected sex. So I just think that a person should have a right to that bodily autonomy, and that would be bodily autonomy of reproduction. Yes.
So, something that I'm confused on is this argument assuming that the fetus is a person, and that its right to life is being superseded by.
Yeah, I do believe that
autonomy,
that it's a person, but I do think that it's ultimately up to the mother to make that decision for themselves. But it gets kind of like marred, I guess, in the discussion, because when they say that it's a person, it's, I think like what you mean is like not that it's a person, but rather, do we care about it? Like that's really all, like, do we grant it human consideration is, I guess, the thought process of that. Cause like I do believe that like as soon as the fetus, like, I mean, I'm sorry, as soon as it's like even like a single cell gestated, it is effectively by all taxonomic category, a human, right? Like, but the question is not whether or not it's a human. The question is like, okay, do we care about it? I guess. Do you see what I mean?
I think I see what you mean, but I think the way I understand person, I don't think it's more about what if we care about it, but it's more whether if the entity in question has moral status. But I do have some concerns and worries when you appeal to the mother's consent. So, like, I guess during, let's say, open fetal surgery, when the fetus is taken out of the womb through C-section or whatever, for surgery to be done on the fetus, at that point, even if suppose the mother now has this will, her autonomous will, that she wants the fetus to be killed, either through poison or dismemberment or what have you, would this be permissible under your view, or no?
Are you saying? It sounded to me that you just described an abortion.
Not
in a very
necessarily.
Can you repeat it then? Because I didn't catch it.
There are cases where there are open fetal surgeries, where the mother's tummy is cut open in order for their surgery to be done on the fetus due to some abnormal defect or what have you.
Okay.
And I'm trying to figure out whether, if the mother now changes her mind and is aware of all the relevant facts of the matter, and wills for the fetus to be killed outside of the womb during the surgery, would this be permitted under your view?
What a strange scenario. I mean, like, why would they decide, oh, this baby needs to be in surgery, and then as soon as it's in surgery, oh, I don't care about the baby at all? I would probably be like, this woman needs to go for a psychological evaluation and then continue to try to take care of the baby.
Wait, but that too, see, that's what I'm not understanding, because presumably I did say the mother's aware of all the relevant facts, and this is aligned with her will, or autonomous will, or it's aligned with the consent principle that you're endorsing. And so the fact that you're saying,
I don't know.
I'm answering your question.
I didn't have a question.
Okay, well,
none of that was a question.
I'm interacting with what you stated to me. Interacting with what you stated to me. Let me finish, please. Thank you.
I can already tell you're going to be a great discussion partner. I can already tell.
Listen.
You got to lower the debate, bro. Energy, bro.
Yeah, I can tell too. Yeah.
It's really not necessary.
No, I'm acting this way because you're not interacting with what I'm saying.
I responded to exactly what you said. I'm just asking you to
said it was strange,
to just chill out and not
you now
crash
need
out.
to follow through with what you're endorsing with your principle. Okay, it's a clear hypothetical. Okay, so I've asked you. Okay, the mother in that open fetal surgery, having an abortion right then and there is aligned with her will. What's the issue?
Is there ever
saying that it's strange is compatible with the view?
Is there ever a situation where the this fetal surgery, I wasn't even aware fetal surgeries were even a thing, but assuming that they are a thing, are fetal surgeries done pre 25 weeks by any chance?
I would assume so, but it's open. It could be before or after. I can change the hypothetical, and I still think the
no, because the question is no. I think it matters greatly. Right, and the reason why
matter greatly. You're still dodging the hypothetical. You're still dodging.
I'm not dodging the hypothetical. I'm trying to keep it in reality world, right, as opposed to like some random hypothetical.
You can Google when do open fetal surgeries occur.
Sure,
we can Google it together. Right. Okay. So how long are you going to stall?
Also, I need you to
How long are you
chill
gonna
with
stall?
the super debate bro mode you're having. Right?
No, I'm
like,
not
I'll
gonna
have
chill
the
because
discussion.
you showed arrogance and attitude
Cool.
to other
I'm
pro-lifers
gonna
in the past.
server mute you for a second, and we'll Google it. Okay, we're gonna Google it. All right. So what week are fetal surgeries performed? Between 19 to 26 weeks of gestation. That's at least the AI. Let me see here. Cleveland Clinic. Okay, as early as 16 weeks. All right. That's actually wild. I would assume that. Okay, anyway, let me go ahead and unmute him. All right, 12.
So are we going to answer Twa's question?
Yeah, okay. So your question is it permissible to abort the fetus now that it has been removed from the body?
It's still, yeah, as it's been removed from the body for the sake of open fetal surgery, yes. Let's say the mother's will is now, okay, let's now just abort it.
I would say if it does not require the mother's, like, it would just be effectively delivering a baby. But if it's pre, then I suppose you can have an abortion, sure.
Okay. So I take that as evidence against your view. I think this renders your view less plausible. But now I don't think this undermines your view completely, but I do have more worries or concerns for your view now.
Okay.
Because at this point, I need to know whether, let's say, when a mother gives birth, let's say around 8 or 9 months, or maybe a little bit prematurely, but this depends on the hypothetical because you like to dodge. But let's say the mother gives birth to her baby child, but the child is still attached to the umbilical cord. Would it now be still permissible to kill the newborn infant? Because it's still using the mother's body against her own will to sustain its own existence.
Repeat your question. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm
We're
trying to
stalling
understand.
again? Okay.
I'm not
Okay, so
stalling. I don't understand your
okay,
question.
so
Can you repeat it?
suppose the mother, her child gets born, she delivers the child around 9 months, okay, normally speaking, okay? And let's say the newborn infant is still attached to the umbilical cord, and let's say the mother's will is that she does not want this child to use her own body against her own will to sustain its own existence. Is she permitted to stab the newborn infant to death?
No.
Why not? I'm not understanding. Why not?
Because they're viable outside of the womb.
So, well, hold on. So your condition now changes. No longer the consent principle, but it's the viability principle.
No, it is definitely still a consent principle because like the thing is if you're talking 25 weeks, anything around 25 weeks or past, the abortion is very simple. It's simply inducing a birth. That's what no one does an abortion post 25 weeks. Doctors just don't do this. They just induce the pregnancy, right? Because they're viable outside. There's no need to kill a viable child, right? It's if you don't want the baby, you just go and have and put it up for adoption. That would be the end of that, right? They've already waited long enough. But if you're talking pre that, where they don't want to destroy their own body, then they have every right to do so. The baby does not have a right to destroy the body of the fetus.
I'm not understanding because for one, I did say the mother, her will is still aligned with the fetus. I mean, with the newborn infant, not taking advantage of her body to sustain the newborn infant's existence through the umbilical cord.
I don't understand.
You're appealing to this
question.
viability principle.
What do you mean by
You're not
will?
understanding the question?
Correct.
Her consent.
Okay, yeah. So she
yeah.
chooses. Yeah. So
yeah, she's consenting to killing the newborn infant because she does not want the newborn infant to use her own body attached to the umbilical cord.
It's already used her body. It's already over. It's already
still using the body.
It's already post 20.
No,
it's already post 25 weeks. It doesn't
no.
need. It doesn't need the mother.
There? Why stop there?
Because it doesn't need the mother. It doesn't need the mother post 25 weeks.
To the umbilical cord, Amender.
Dude, you cut the fucking umbilical cord.
Okay.
And then you put it on fucking ICU. This isn't hard. You just induce a pregnancy.
No.
Do you understand that it doesn't need an umbilical cord at post 25 weeks?
You're too upset to recognize it.
Oh my God. Stop.
Or you're too upset to recognize it. I'm only yelling because you raised your voice at me. I'm not going to take your shit.
Daniel, why are these people like this? What is this discussion? These people are
I don't know,
completely
man.
incapable of having like an honest discussion, a back and forth. I've explained it to you, and because it doesn't work within his box or his paradigm, he just thinks that I'm dodging or like I'm being weaselly. All right, go ahead, Twav. Let's try again.
Okay, yeah, I have to keep trying with you. I have to keep trying with you because for some reason you have a master's degree or a PhD in dodging my questions, and I'm not liking it. And the more you do it, the more angrier I'm gonna get. And please, I don't want to go there.
Oh,
Okay.
I don't want you
So
too
be-
angry.
so I'm just
You
gonna
wouldn't
leave-
li-
yeah,
I wouldn't.
so
I
we're
wouldn't
gonna-
like you
We're
when
gonna
you're
put the
angry.
hypothetical to the side. I'm gonna put the hypothetical to the side because I think you know where it leads you to, and it's clearly has made you uncomfortable. So now, suppose, okay, so you did bring up the mother can just cut the umbilical cord. Okay, now is the mother?
No, the mother's
obligated
not
to take care
cutting
of
the umbilical cord. The doctor
You
is.
just said she could.
No,
You
the
said she
doctor
could.
is cutting the umbilical
I've given
cord.
you a
It's
hypothetical.
post 25
where the
weeks. You
mother-
just induce
Hold
a
on, Why are you
birth.
changing my hypothetical? You
I'm not
bad-faced
changing
motherfucker?
the
You
hypothetical. I'm
bad-faced
saying
motherfucker.
post
I
25
told you
weeks, the
mother
doctor
giving
just does
birth,
it.
And no. When did I say the hypothetical is taking place in the hospital, fucker?
What? It's a
I
pregnancy.
given you a hypothetical where the mother's given birth, and we could suppose that maybe it's outside the hospital or in the woods.
Okay,
I didn't
so
even
so
give details
so it's
about
got
that.
all right.
You were
So it's
changing
got
the
it. All right,
hypothetical.
all right. It's in
You
the
added
woods.
to the
Go for it.
hypothetical.
It's in the woods
Yeah,
now.
yeah. So suppose the mother cut the
It's in the
umbilical cord
woods.
off.
Yeah.
Laugh about it, motherfucker. This has been going on for thousands of years before we had the technology
Okay,
to do it in
psycho.
hospitals, motherfucker.
All right, psycho.
Yeah, I'm a psycho. Yeah, but I'm
Yeah.
not the one endorsing the killing of innocent little human beings in the fucking womb. So now,
What? Dude, you gotta calm the fuck
after the
down.
mother.
Holy shit.
No, listen. Now after the mother, when she cuts the umbilical cord
Yeah,
off,
when
is
she-
she obligated to take care of the
Yeah,
newborn infant after she cuts the?
Yeah.
After
After
she
she
cuts the cord
after
off
she
in
cuts
the
the
woods?
wounds, yeah.
Yeah. Answer the hypothetical, fucker.
Are you on Adderall by any chance?
Don't ask my question with another question.
No, I was just
Interact with me, fucker.
curious if you're on Adderall.
Yeah, okay, I'm on meth. Yeah, I'm on Adderall. Okay, so answer the question.
Yeah, I can tell.
Answer the question.
Yeah, I mean, can she cut off the umbilical cord? I think morally speaking, if it's post
I didn't
25
ask
weeks,
that.
you
I
are
didn't ask that,
morally
Amanda.
obligated to
You
deliver the
bad-faced,
child.
slimy weasel little rat. I asked you after she cut off the umbilical cord, is she obligated to take care of the newborn infant? If not, because I think
No, I don't believe that
leads to-
they're obligated to take care of the newborn infant. No.
Okay, so is she?
I believe
Okay, so what if-
however, they would be obligated to give it away to somebody.
Wait, why?
for-
Wait,
to
hold
be
on. So they're not obligated to take care of the child, but they're obligated to give it away. Why? It still goes.
Yeah, if
against
they
the
don't
mother's
want to
consent.
take care of the
If she
child,
deems
like
it so.
they don't want to do it, then they don't have to.
And that's because it goes against her consent, right? So apply that same thinking to she does not consent to putting the newborn infant up for adoption or what have you. Let's say she only consents to putting it in the woods so it can get fed by animals.
Well, I believe that you are effectively need to do something in order to take care of that child, and the bare minimum is to do your due diligence as a mother to give the child up for adoption. That would
Wait,
be,
why? It's still going against her consent. It's still going against her consent.
It's not.
You're
No,
operating
no.
against consent
You're
principle.
still morally obligated to like taking care of
Where?
like, people who are helpless.
Wait, so let me get this straight. You're obligated to take care of newborn infants,
Yeah.
but you're not obligated to but it's permissible to kill them as well when they're in the womb.
As a
I'm
fetus,
not understanding
yeah.
that.
Yeah, as a fetus.
I'm not understanding
Correct.
that.
Yeah,
but
because I
the
don't believe
reason
that
why
they don't have a moral obligation.
The justification
Because
because
I like again,
because of
like
the
I
consent
just
principle.
believe that it should be up to again. Yeah, I believe
The mother, yes,
that the
I'm
mother,
understanding your
that the
position, I'm
mother's
tracking.
that the mother's body can be harmed,
Oh,
and
okay,
so
the mother's
I believe
body
that the
can still
mother
be
should be
harmed
able to
even
decide
post-birth,
as to whether
Amanda.
or not that they have birth.
Right, and the mother's body can still be harmed post-birth, Amanda. Let's say she does not consent to
How are they
breastfeed the child,
harmed?
take care of the child after.
Yeah,
post-
yeah, you just put it up for
post-birth, yeah.
adoption. It's not hurting your
But
body.
let's
to
say
put it
she
up for
doesn't
adoption.
want to. It still goes against her consent.
It's not hurting
still
your
frustrates her
body to
desires.
put it up for adoption.
Let's say she's a fat ass woman. Yeah. And it hurts to walk and take care of the child. Yeah.
Then ask
Yeah.
someone else to do
Yeah,
it. I don't
laugh
know
all
what-
you want. Interact with the hypothetical. You know where this
Yeah,
leads
I
to,
mean
and
it's an
come on, let's go.
insane hypothetical. I mean I'm
No, let's see it,
engaging
let's see it.
with the
Let's see you bite it then.
hypothetical,
Let's see
and
you
if
bite it
it's
then,
and
yeah.
if it's if they're fat, ask someone else to
Yeah.
do it. I don't know what.
No,
to,
no, wait, but are they obligated to ask someone else because this still
Yeah, I
allows
think
consent
so,
to use their
yeah.
body in such a manner?
I think that-
okay,
yeah,
so
I
it's
think
still
so.
violating their consent, so they're not obligated to even.
No,
ask
it's
someone
not
else for help,
violating their
right?
consent. I just they brought
it is.
somebody into
Yes, it is,
into
fucker.
life, and they had plenty of
Yeah,
time.
you
Why do
you
you
are
gotta-
a slimy slimy.
How am I
little
slimy? I'm just.
fucking rat.
What is wrong
So
with you? Are
interact
you
with my-
okay?
There's so much wrong with me. No, I'm not okay because you don't interact with my hypotheticals.
Yeah, I
You don't
am.
interact
I'm,
with where your principles
I am
lead you to. All
directly-
you do is laugh.
Yeah,
And spin
because
me the
you're-
fuck out
you're in-
because I care
you're-
about this issue.
you
Amender.
sound-
This is do or die.
Hold on,
This is
hold on,
life
I gotta get on
or
here.
death, Amender, and you're not taking it seriously. So, so answer my.
This is a life or death, Avenger. Avenger.
No, yeah. No, laugh all you want though. Yeah, the thing is, you've been getting your back blown the fuck out, and you're not interacting with my hypotheticals, my reasoning. Okay, so go ahead, Amender. Go ahead.
He's
Go ahead,
so
man.
gay. He gets his back blown out.
Wait, hold on. What?
What are you gonna do to get your back blown out?
Okay.
Amender!
Go ahead, Amender. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Amender. Interact with me, Amender. Yeah, interact with me. Come on.
Are you a
What
Christian?
are you doing, man? Like, what are you doing? You know you're making yourself look like a clown, right?
I'm sure.
You know that, right? Yeah. Haha, very funny, man. Okay, we're gonna interact with 12's hypotheticals.
I'm
We're
gonna love this
interact
video.
with
by the
12's
way.
questioning.
This
or
is
what's
a
up?
fabulous video.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fabulous video of you dodging my fucking questions, man. Yeah.
I
go ahead.
really didn't dodge you at all. I
did.
feel like I
You have a PhD
I
in dodging.
directly answered your question.
No. You
And because
added
it
to the
doesn't
hypothetical,
work-
or you changed the hypothetical, or you said the hypothetical was strange, or what
Yeah,
have you.
because
Then you
because
said, "Oh,
it
these
is a strange
hypotheticals are
hypothetical. I mean,
insane. These
yeah, it is.
hypotheticals are insane.
yeah, it
My
is an
God."
insane hypothetical.
Yeah,
Hey, Daniel, what do you think?
Yeah. So
what do
you're
you
afraid
think
of
about
buying
this
the bullet,
hypothetical?
fucker. You're afraid of buying the bullet, aren't you?
I'm
I
not.
wasn't
I
even paying attention that much to his hypothetical. Can you repeat your hypothetical for me?
No, I'm not here for you. I'm here for fucking Amender.
Why do you
You're here to
hate
fuck
me?
Amanda? Oh, man.
Why do you
Okay.
hate
Yeah, I'm
me
here to fuck
so?
Amender. Yeah, I'm here to fuck
He's here to
Amender, yeah.
fuck me.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Man, don't threaten me with a
Okay,
good
okay,
time.
Amender. Okay, go ahead. Come on. I'm not gonna go in, man. I'm gonna be
shouldn't-
annoying to you.
Okay.
And I'm gonna keep asking you the same question because I know you don't like it. I'm gonna ask you anyway because yeah.
Honestly,
So go
I
ahead,
love
come
it. I think you'll be the video of the week, my dude.
No, video of the
you're
year. video of the
hilarious,
century. Go,
Twav.
go, come on. I know I'm hilarious.
This is
Yeah, go ahead now.
Twav, by the way, everybody.
We're
so we
still,
get
I'm
to
still
remember
waiting.
Twav.
I'm still waiting for some minute. I'm still waiting.
Yeah, I mean, I explained it already. I think that you should be morally obligated to take the
my
child,
gosh.
and if you're fat and you can't do it, well, then I would just say, hey, you got to get someone else to do it. That was very
You
simple.
know, and do you remember what I said, Amender? Do you remember what my response was, Amender?
No, I
Amender?
don't.
Okay, so
you kind of spurred
clean,
out, so it's hard to
clean,
hear
yeah, I
you
did spur
when
out
you're,
because you
like,
don't
losing
interrupt me,
your
and I think
mind.
you're bad faith. I think you're a bad faith
I
motherfucker.
think
so
I'm
this next time I'm
perfectly
going to repeat the
explaining it. I
hypothetical,
have
I'm gonna
not
repeat the question
insulted you
and clean
once,
the
but
gunk out of
alright.
your ears, fucker.
Yeah,
so here's the question. Suppose the fat ass
it's-
woman.
I got to get all that
suppose-
gunk
wait,
from
wait,
your
yeah,
dad
yeah, yeah.
that they got
Suppose-
out.
yeah. Okay, bring my dad up. Yeah, I don't care. Yeah, you're mad. Oh, that hit a nerve. You have to bring up my personal family members. That hit a nerve with you, huh? You pussy. All right, so here's the thing. So suppose a fat ass woman, right? She does not consent to asking someone else to take care of her child because she's too fat, right? Or it
She
goes
can't
against her will.
talk?
Okay. Yeah.
Who is
So
this person?
she's too fat, or it goes against her.
So they're
will,
just
right?
like,
She still fulfills her desire. Is she obligated? Answer him. Is she obligated to take care of the child, or to give it up for adoption, or to ask someone else? Assuming your consent principle. 'cause I
Yeah,
think
she is obligated, right? She has
Dude,
to be. She has to be mildly discomforted.
You
in
don't
this
see the
situation.
connection
I do.
between what I'm
I
saying
do.
and your logic. This is insane.
I do.
This
I do
is
see it.
insane. No, you don't,
Yeah.
because you just keep repeating it, and now I'm going to accuse you of begging the question. You're not interacting with me
Yeah,
anymore.
maybe I'm just begging the question.
Yeah, you are. Yeah.
Yeah.
You good, Amanda? You sound sad, bro. What happened? You sound defeated. You good? man?
No, it's
Okay.
really funny listening
yeah,
to
yeah,
you.
yeah. You're not interacting with me anymore, brother. Yeah, you're not interacting with me anymore. Yeah.
Did you think that this was that when I release this video that this is going to look good for you?
I don't care. Do I look like the type of motherfucker that
No,
care
you-
about what people think
yeah,
of me?
I mean-
I'm doing this in front of 15 people. What the fuck do I care if I do, about?
Well, believe it or
200?
not,
I don't care.
more people watch through shorts, and I do like to clip the shorts. So.
Oh, so you're gonna clip parts where
Yeah.
you're gonna also show where you're dodging? Are you gonna show where you're dodging and not interact with me? and
well, I'll
conducting
show
yourself
the
in a
full
bad faith
video.
manner?
I'll show you the
Are you
full video.
are you
but
gonna
holy
are you gonna
crap,
show?
dude,
Hold
you
on.
are way
Can you
too
promise
aggro.
me? Oh,
You
yeah,
are
I am
way too
aggro because
aggro.
I've seen your arrogance and the way you've been rude to other pro-lifers in the past when you conduct these live streams of yours.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
now it doesn't feel so
because
good, right?
because I
Doesn't
have
feel so good, right?
Well,
You fucking
no,
pussy.
I
Cry
feel
bully.
I feel fine.
I feel
I'm
fine. I didn't ask you.
I
if you
do.
felt
I
fine.
mean,
I'm
well,
explaining to
you're
you why I'm
saying
treating
that
you
I
this way
feel
because I
bad.
think you deserve it.
Okay,
I'm telling
dude.
you, yeah.
Okay, Twaff.
Okay, yeah. Okay,
How's being
yeah, okay.
a mod at Epoch? Are you still
Okay,
a mod at
yeah.
Epoch?
Oh, look, you're going for personal attacks again. You are a fucking coward.
All
You
I
go for personal attacks.
wait,
Wait,
that's
you
not
can't
a.
even defend
How is
yourself,
that a
dude.
personal attack? I just
You
said.
can't even defend
How
your
is
own
it?
dude.
In
How
what
is it
world
being a
was that
mod at
personal
You wanna-
Epoch?
attack?
Yo, Danny, you want to pipe up? I'll take care of you too. You want to try with me, you fucking pussy? I'll take both of you right now. Yeah.
Okay, bro.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm not a fucking
Dude,
pussy. I'm a fucking
Dude,
dick.
dude,
Your mama should tell
I'm
you.
only gonna pipe up when Amender insults 12. I'm only gonna pipe up. That's only when I'm gonna pipe up. Oh my gosh, bro. You guys are
Alright.
god awful. Okay, how about this? I'll show you mercy,
Uh-huh.
and I'll let
You didn't
K up.
look at
Oh,
yourself.
yeah,
right?
you
I like
won.
people
You
like
won.
that.
I tell
I'll
you
let
what,
K up here,
Tuav,
okay?
you
Yeah,
are
Amender, I'll
you
let-
are
yeah,
the winner
yeah,
of this
yeah,
debate.
yeah,
I
yeah.
formally
No, I don't care about winning.
decree
I care about arriving at
winner
the truth, and I
of
get
the
mad
debate.
when you're not willing to arrive at the truth with me, you bad faith piece of shit,
You
motherfucker.
piece of shit,
Okay, so all right, so K, okay, you can go up here.
Get
All right,
the
go ahead.
tinfoil
All right,
hat.
all right. I'll show you mercy, but I don't think K
Yeah,
would. Yeah, all right, go
give
ahead.
me mercy.
Dude, it's like I can imagine him like like his vein pulsating in like his forehead. Like
His face is just red.
Yeah, it's like crazy, and like the pulsating vein, like ready to blow up and having like an aneurysm or something.
God
Just,
damn
like,
it! I wish we
you
could have
know,
gotten more of that.
dying live.
That was hilarious. All right.
Also, I mean, I really thought his mama told you I'm a dick, not a pussy. That's a bit disappointing.
Abortion
I should call her and
debate
chastise
gets
her.
heated. All right. Hannah says that was gold.
I mean, kind of what?
That was gold.
This is what the internet.
We
was
are
made
taking
for,
calls.
you know?
202-998-5218. Call in, man. Call in. We do got some other people that would like to join. I see some unfamiliar faces, so we're going to bring them in. Always curious
It's the troll brigade.
with the unfamiliar faces. Well, you never know. You never know. Sometimes sometimes they're friendly.
That is true.
All right. We got it's just Poon. Whoever I invited just oh no, they're here. Hi Kay, how you doing?
Hey, yeah, I guess I'm interested in debating about the proposition that abortions are moral. Are you interested?
Sure.
Cool. Yeah, so presumably you take the view that abortions are moral, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Is it the case that you have a sound argument that establishes that proposition?
A sound argument? Yeah, I think so.
Okay. What's the first premise of the sound argument?
Are you asking me to place it into a syllogism where you require premise, conclusion?
Yeah, that's what it means to be a sound argument, is that there's like an inference rule.
No,
with
no,
the
you do not.
premises and
You
that
do
the
not need
premises are
to.
true.
You do not need to have something in a syllogism in order for it to be a sound argument.
I
You can just
never
have a
mentioned anything
sentence
about
and it would be
syllogisms.
I
never
asked-
mentioned anything about syllogisms, by the way.
okay, so I asked you.
I know what you asked me. Did you hear my response?
Yeah. So okay, we're gonna go
What
into
was the
debate,
response
bro.
that I gave?
What is with the debate, bro? People, like, can we just have a
Debate, bro.
conversation? Yeah, you don't have to debate, bro. We could just have a conversation.
Yeah, we're having a conversation right now, and I'm asking you a question.
Okay, so
Which is just to reproduce
So
the
I mean, I
response
can
that I gave you.
provide you premise, conclusion. It's a kind of a waste of time, though. I'd rather just kind of.
I
talk
never
to you.
never asked for a syllogism, by the way. So I don't
All
know why
right,
you're saying
cool. So then I can provide you my sound argument.
that. Yeah,
without the need of a
presumably one that
syllogism.
presumably one that has like a rule of inference and the premises are true. That's what it means to be a sound argument.
Okay, so I believe in the individual autonomy of individuals, and I believe that all pregnancies are potentially life-threatening, as well as permanently disfigures the body beyond in a very negative way for women. All pregnancies are this way, and so as
Is
a
that
result,
the first premise? Oh, this is
Yeah,
this
yeah,
still the
they're-
first premise?
they're-
I just want to get clear.
yeah, and so I believe it's
Okay.
just it's just a few sentences. It's not like premise, conclusion. It's just sentences.
So it's like an informal argument?
Yeah, we can have an informal argument. Yes.
Okay, cool.
All right. So, and I don't believe that other people have a right to damage the body of other people without their consent. and so I believe that the rights of the mother supersede that of the rights of the unborn fetus or the
What's
baby,
the
if you
argument for
will.
that? Yeah, what's the argument for that?
That the body of other people, I believe it leads to worse outcomes to not respect the bodies of individuals.
That's not what I asked you for an argument for.
Well, it's an axiom. It wouldn't necessarily be like, oh, I have to apply like a.
Why are you
It's
telling
a
me-
presumed axiom.
What's an axiom?
That the bodies of individuals ought be respected.
Yeah, so just to be clear, what I asked you to provide an argument for was the last sentence that you gave, which is that it's the case
Yeah,
that the mother's
it's
body...
an axiom.
But
It is root facted.
Just let me. I thought you wanted to have a conversation, but you just like cut in the middle of my sentence. That doesn't seem very conversational, right? But in any event, the thing that I'm asking you for here is very simple. You made a claim that the mother's bodily rights supersedes the fetus's rights. So I guess I have two questions, and then you can give the sub argument for that proposition. The first question that I want to ask you is what you take a right to be, and then I'm just interested if you have a sub argument for that proposition.
I think you're misinterpreting, I guess, what this kind of discussion is supposed to be.
Can you just answer my question?
Well, again, like you're trying to like heavily formalize it in a way where it's like there's basically.
Sir, please just answer my
Like,
question.
I mean, if you want, I can provide it into these premise, conclusion, but I'm just telling you, it's just going to be resulting in a very boring discussion where really we don't go anywhere.
I didn't ask
If
you
you could
for
just
syllogism. You're dodging the
chill.
question.
Yeah, again, I didn't say syllogism just now. I simply was saying that, yeah, you don't need to be so formal about it. You could just make an argument. So, again, like I believe axiomatically, I believe that it operates at an axiomatic notion that you do not have the right to destroy the body of other people because the body is their own.
That's not what I asked you to give an argument for. I don't know why you're saying this. You've already went over this part.
Then what are you asking? I don't know what to. I don't know.
Yeah, so this is going to be the third time. Yeah, so this is going to be the third time that I'm asking, right? So like, just try to listen to the question that I'm asking you. The question is, you made a claim at the end of your initial argument that the fetus, or excuse me, the mother's bodily autonomy and the mother's bodily rights supersedes that of the fetus, right? So what I'm interested in is just the argument for that proposition. And then I asked you a secondary question, which is what is meant by rights in that sentence?
Yeah, so the bodily autonomy is superseded of the mother because you do not have a right to destroy the body
not of the mother.
People.
The mother's bodily autonomy
that is also
supersedes
extended
the fetus.
for the fetus to the mother.
Sorry, what are you asking?
You do not have a right to destroy the body of other people. That would extend for the fetus to the mother. The fetus, incidentally, by existence, must destroy the body of the mother in order to exist. They do not have that right. It requires the consent of the mother to say yes to it.
Got you. So you're saying that when you say destroys the body, are you just referring to pregnancy?
Yes.
You're saying the fetus, by remaining pregnant, is destroying her body? Okay, cool.
Yes.
So by that sentence, if we were to sort of translate your sentence, all you're saying there is that the mother's bodily autonomy supersedes that of the fetus because the fetus is gestating? That's what the statement is?
It's not because it's gestating. It's because it causes stretch marks. It permanently alters the hormonal chemistry, and not in a positive way. It stretches out the breasts as well as many other fat placement. Their body never retains their youthful appearance ever again. It is that way for the rest of their life, and I just think that it ought to be up to the mother to make that decision for themselves.
Yeah, you just committed a fallacy.
Okay. What fallacy did I commit?
Hume's guillotine.
Hume's guillotine?
Yes.
Why don't you help me out? I'm not a philosophy major, so.
You don't know what Hume's. Okay.
That's
Do you know what
correct,
the is-ought fallacy is?
Yes.
You know what the is-ought fallacy, but you didn't know what Hume's guillotine was.
I mean, I'm sorry, the is-ought problem, is that what you're referring to? I'm not aware that there's a fallacy regarding an is-ought problem.
You're not aware that there's a fallacy regarding an is-ought problem? You're not aware of that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to honestly tell you. I mean, I'm not here to...
Yeah, it's called a naturalistic fallacy, right? So the basic idea is that it's not the case.
It's a naturalistic fallacy? Where did I appeal to nature in there?
Yeah, that's not what a naturalistic...
That is literally what a naturalistic fallacy is.
Wait, so just let me... So it's funny how you said you wanted to conversate and you like incessantly interrupt me every time, right?
Oh, yeah.
You're like not a really
unlike
good
you, right?
conversationalist.
Who's like really like great.
Well, yeah, but when I do
really
so...
great interlocutor. Go ahead.
Yeah, except when I actually interrupt, it's like me trying to progress the conversation. And when you interrupt, it's you just more like projecting your confusion into the conversation. So it kind of hinders the dialogue. But in any event, the basic idea of like what the is-ought fallacy is that it's not the case that like normative sentences and their functions, their features, their truth maker roles, it's not the case that those things are reducible or identifiable with like any single natural fact. Okay, so like for example, you just gave a bunch of descriptive sentences about pregnancy, right? Well, it is the case that pregnancy causes X, Y, and Z effects, right? Stretch marks and whatnot. And then what you did was unjustifiably leaped, right, your dishonest legs to the conclusion that she is morally justified in eliminating.
That would be an ad hominem, by the way, what you just did there, right? Because you just said I was being dishonest. Well, it is, because you're attempting to discredit me on a personal insult, as opposed to actually addressing what I had said. Anyway,
I actually did. I addressed what you said directly.
So once again, I'm still lost as to how exactly that it's a naturalistic fallacy here. I'm simply pointing out that these are negative things that happen, and I just believe the person that has to go through those things, they should be the ones consenting to it. And I think that that's a pretty logical conclusion, considering the fact that no other body has a right to dismember the body of another. That's just not the case. And in the event of potential dismemberment or potentially life-threatening, then they have a right to end that life, like defending yourself. I believe that the mother should be the ones that ultimately decide as to whether or not they want that child.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so it seems like basically there's like a conceptual block. You're not really understanding how you're committing a fallacy. So maybe it's because you're not.
Maybe the conceptual block could be being a debate.
I wasn't
convince anybody, and it's just going to cause people to close up.
I wasn't.
Well, I was just bringing up my conceptual block.
I know you want to. I know you want to stop me. I know you want to stop me.
Go ahead, continue. I have a conceptual block where I'm trying to ignore you being an insufferable debate bro. But go ahead.
Just calm down.
Yeah. We gotta calm down, right? We gotta let we gotta let the sea lion. Go ahead, sea lion. Go ahead.
You're panicking.
I'm panicking. Yep. Your argument is way too strong for me, sea lion.
You're panicking.
It's way too strong. All right, go ahead.
Stop panicking.
Go ahead.
Stop spurging. Okay, back to the actual substance of the discussion. Okay, you're spurging out. Relax. Okay. So now I'll just basically explain to you one more time.
Where do I get these? Where do I get these people, Daniel?
You're panicking again. You're
the place.
It's fucking wild, dude. They're completely unself-aware.
You're so scared. You're
so
terrified.
I'm absolutely terrified. I'm very terrified.
Okay, fantastic.
I hope to never be a debate bro like you. I am terrified of being a debate bro like you. Very terrified.
If you're not,
I think it's he's just rage baiting.
If you're not,
I hope not.
So if you're not scared, then I should be able to finish my sentence, right? You should be able to easily dismantle it, right?
Yep.
So in any event, right? Basically, I'm going to explain one more time what a naturalistic fallacy is. And then I'm going to explain how exactly it maps onto what you just said.
Yeah.
And then I'll basically like laugh at you because you don't know what naturalistic fallacy is, okay? So basically, a naturalistic fallacy, it's a famous idea, most famously attributed to a philosopher known as G.E. Moore. Have you ever heard of him?
No, you
haven't, right? Because you don't know shit, right? But in any event, G.E. Moore basically came up with this idea, right? That it's not the case that whatever it is that constitute goodness, right, as something that exists, that it's not the case that those things are definable in terms of any single natural fact or any single natural property or something like that, right? Usually it's, the famous examples that people give is like things like pleasure and pain, for example, as natural facts. Like it's not the case that whatever is constitutive of goodness is going to be definable in terms of those natural facts, okay? So, basically he comes up with this thing called the open question argument. Have you heard of that?
Nope.
No, because you're a fucking dumbass, right? So the open question argument is basically this, right? It remains an open question when you ask, why is it the case that that natural fact is something that's good? Like, for example, suppose somebody said that X is good just in case it is pleasurable. Why is it the case that pleasure is good, right? There's a kind of open question there, right? It still leaves the question open of what exactly goodness is, right? And so it seems like there's no like link between whatever is constitutive of like moral properties and whatever is constitutive of like descriptive properties, right? So now here's how it maps onto what you did. You basically said it is the case, right? Descriptive sentence, that pregnancy causes X, Y, and Z effects, right? The mother is going to have stretch marks, yada, yada, yada. Those are just descriptive sentences, okay? And then what you did was you leaped to the moral sentences, like, therefore, she should or should not be able to do X. Okay, that's what you did. Now, I'm questioning the leap that you made from the descriptive sentences to the moral sentences, okay? Are you following me so far?
Yeah, I just believe that it leads to worse off. I just believe it. I believe it leads to worse off outcomes. That's what I believe. If you do not respect the bodily autonomy of individuals, outcomes get worse. And so, in under that basis, I like to respect the bodily autonomy of individuals, and I don't believe that you are respecting the bodily autonomy of mothers when they choose to terminate a pregnancy.
Sorry, can you tell me what part of what I said that you're responding to? Little guy? Just go ahead and tell me the sentence about what I said that you're responding to.
I mean, go ahead, Daniel. The guy is just trolling.
Oh, he's gonna run away. Oh no.
Yep, I'm running. You won. You won, debate bro.
What did I say?
Go ahead, Daniel.
What did I say?
Okay.
What are you responding to?
I asked him if I could.
This guy's shadow boxing right now. He's like fighting demons in his head.
You would have heard. Now you're interrupting me while I'm talking. You're very anal before when you were like interrupted or anything.
Daniel, just pipe down, buddy. I don't know why you're stepping in. Right.
I'm very.
Why are you stepping in?
About it.
He's my co-host. He's my co-host.
I want to ask you something.
Does your butt buddy need help?
Well, yeah, no, I lost the debate, so I just wanted to let Daniel.
Yeah, I know you did. Right? It's like very obvious.
You're the winner, dude. You did it. You did it,
You're not
debate,
even in
bro.
the same conceptual game as me, right? Like,
yeah, you are like way ahead of me, bro. It's not even close.
Yeah, I am. Yeah,
you're so far ahead.
Oh
yeah,
I know.
Yeah, really, he's doing it. He did it, guys.
Keep blazing me.
Yep.
Yeah. There we go. Keep blazing me.
I'll suck your cock for $5.
You'll suck my cock for $5.
I'll suck your cock for $5. God, he's such a good. He's amazing.
For cheaper.
I would do it for cheaper. I'll do it for free. I'll pay you $5.
Yeah, I know, because you're a man whore. That's why you would do it for free. Oh, who said that? Oh, that one stun locked him. He didn't know what to say after that, right? So in any event, right? So since his butt buddy
go ahead, Daniel. Go ahead, Daniel.
And does Daniel feel like he has a response to any of the sentences that I said?
I mean, you said a lot of sentences that didn't really make that much sense, because you were talking about the naturalistic fallacy, which is like, if we were to take it as like what's an idea of is that if something is like good just because it's natural, right? And also like the opposite, that something is just jumping. No, but I'm not saying what you said, because what you said was a bunch of nonsense. And,
I asked you to describe
also
what
like the naturalistic fallacy.
Why was it nonsensical?
Can I talk now, or are you just going to interrupt me?
You just made it. No, because you made a claim.
It's like now I'm talking. No, I'm not done making.
Yeah, but you made a claim.
And you interrupted.
You made a claim.
No, I haven't made my claim.
Yes, you did. The claim was that I said something nonsensical.
No.
You said,
you
made a claim
did say something nonsensical because what you said had nothing to do with what the naturalistic fallacy is.
Oh, really? What did I say? He has no fucking clue. He's just talking out of his ass. What did I say? Tell me.
You just asked me something, and then you immediately say, he doesn't want to answer without giving me time to answer. So how can I have given you an answer between the time you said between you asked me and said I have no
Go ahead,
answer?
get it out.
It's like, do you think people get like these things where they can answer in like 0.1 seconds?
Take your time. Now answer the
He
question.
needs the
No, I'm not.
TikTok.
It's like
He
I
needs-
don't need to take my time. It's like it's fine. It's like
You're gonna dodge away from the
own
question.
show.
You're dodging.
No,
We
I'm
got
not.
two dodgers on
I'm
panel.
literally answering you right now. But I was just weirded out by the way you behave because it's like
What's the thing that
behave
you're
in a very
answering, by the way?
specific way. So it's like
What are you
the
answering?
naturalistic fallacy, which is the one
That's
you're
not what I asked you.
referencing.
That's
is
not
the
what I asked
idea.
you.
No,
You dodged my question.
I'm answering.
You dodged my
Okay,
question.
Can I answer, or are you gonna overtalk
Can you
me
answer?
the whole
Can
time?
you answer the question that I asked you and
Yeah,
not
that's
another
exactly what
question
I'm
that I
doing.
didn't ask?
But you need to
No,
be
you're not.
patient.
The question I
No,
asked
you
you
need
was,
to be
what is it
patient.
that I said? What did I say?
Well, what you said
made-
was something that has nothing to do with the naturalistic fallacy.
What is that something that I said that has nothing to do with the naturalistic fallacy? What is that something that I said?
Well, instead of saying that the naturalistic fallacy is the idea that something is just good or moral,
He's gonna
because
dodge
it's
away again.
natural,
Holy fuck! These guys are so
you didn't
dishonest.
say that.
Answer my question.
What you said was
Answer my
exactly the
question.
opposite. What you said is that Amender did the naturalistic fallacy because he said because the stretch marks are bad, you know, because they're natural and they're happening, it's bad, which is not the naturalistic fallacy.
That's not what I said.
That is
So you weren't
precisely what you
listening,
said.
right? No, it's actually
Yes,
not.
I
So
was
you
listening.
weren't listening.
Can
No,
you
weren't.
tell me
You weren't.
again what the naturalistic fallacy
Yeah, I'll
is?
basically So I'll explain to you why
Tell
what
it
you're
to the
saying is
class.
wrong. Yeah, I will. I will. And you're going to sit down
Yeah.
and listen with the class, right? So here's what you said that was not only confused, but wrong and simultaneously stupid. Okay. So the first thing that you said is I made the claim that he's committed himself to a naturalistic fallacy simply on
Okay,
the basis
can
of
you
making a leap
tell me
from
what the
this-
naturalistic
Wait,
fallacy
wait,
is?
what?
No
What?
preamble.
Why
No
is
need
it
to go preambles.
Why are you
Because you
interrupting?
don't need to
I'm
go
literally-
preambles. Just
Why
go
are you
and say
interrupting?
what it is.
Why are you interrupting? You just cried
I'm
about
doing what you
interruptions, and
did.
here you are, interruption, right? Okay, so
I'm
if
trying to do
interruptions
what
are
you
cool,
did.
then don't. Okay, so if interruptions are cool, then don't be a little bitch about it, right? So in any event,
No, I wasn't.
right? So
You were the
here's-
one being bitch
so
about
what
it.
you're sure. So here's what you're confusing, right? You're confusing that the isot is a type of naturalistic fallacy, right? There are different variations of what a naturalistic fallacy is. I'm just pointing out a very specific type of naturalistic fallacy, but you're talking about a naturalistic fallacy broadly speaking. I'm talking about a very specific form of a naturalistic fallacy. Okay, so that's the first confusion on your end. The second
what
one
is
is that
the
I said that
specific
he
form?
just calm down.
What is the
just calm down.
specific form? I'm
You
very
would have
calm.
known
I'm
if you were
asking you a
listening.
question. If you think
Yeah,
people asking you questions means they're not calm, I mean, you're just dreaming. So please, exactly.
Yeah,
what
so-
exactly?
yeah, so that-
what exactly is the specific form of the naturalistic fallacy, and where can we
Yeah,
find
so
it?
holy shit, you've already asked this question 5 times. I'm going to answer it. So you would have known the answer if you were listening the first, second, third, or fourth time. I explained it 4 different times, right? I'll explain it for a 5th time since I know you guys are too fucking slow to comprehend. So for the
You probably
5th
don't know
time,
how to count
the
either,
kind of
but
naturalist.
okay, go ahead.
That one hurt his ego. He can't take it, right? So
Yeah,
the
go
fifth,
ahead, go
for
ahead.
the
What's wrong
fifth-
with these
for the
people?
fifth time. Okay, you guys are getting
Yeah.
blown the fuck out. This looks really fucking bad for you guys.
Dude,
For the
dude,
fifth
he's
time-
winning. He won the debate.
Oh my god, they literally can't take it. They can't take
We
an
can't
a
take
hit
it,
to the ego.
Daniel. Help.
They have to
Hannah,
respond to like every
help,
single thing. It's
Hannah.
crazy.
Okay, come on.
anyways.
Let him just answer because like I want to see
Yeah.
like
so
what's the
I'm
specific
I'm
naturalistic fallacy and where can we find it?
I'm literally answering right
I'm
now. Okay, so
waiting.
the very specific,
Yeah, go
the
ahead.
very specific. Stop talking, and I will. Holy shit! So the very specific form of naturalistic fallacy that I'm talking about here is called the isot fallacy, otherwise known as Hume's guillotine, Hume's problem, something like this, right? You would know this if you knew anything about philosophy, but you don't. But in any event, right? So what I charged him with was that he was committed himself to an isot fallacy, which is just the view that there's an unjustifiable leap between normative propositions and descriptive propositions. Okay, so what he did was he said that a mother should or shouldn't do X, which is a normative proposition, and the basis for the normative proposition has to deal with the descriptive proposition. Okay, the fact that that it is the case that pregnancy leads to X, Y, and Z outcomes, or her pussy is going to get stretched, or whatever it is that he described, right? That is an unjustified leap. So the objection that I'm giving to him currently is very simple. Why is it the case that you can derive normative propositions from descriptive propositions? What's the link?
I understand that. Now I will want to respond. So your problem is that you're thinking that the isot problem is part of naturalistic fallacy when it's the other way around. The naturalistic fallacy is actually a subset of the isot problem in Hume. So you got it exactly backwards at how it is, right? And as far as I could agree with you that there was an isot fallacy there because he didn't mention the fact that there is a fact that is happening, like the stretch marks and the body just not being the same during pregnancy. And he said just because of that, ought something, right? He didn't mention the fact that if the woman doesn't want to, then it's fine for her to not do it. For example, to not have the pregnancy, right? He didn't put the if there because he's not really like versed in philosophy, and he didn't realize, right, that thing. But you're also wrong, as I mentioned before, because the is-ought fallacy is not a subset of the naturalistic fallacy, but the other way around. And you should have known that because you're prouding yourself to be so knowledgeable on philosophy, and you're trying to teach Amanda and me these things. But apparently you don't really know them as much as you think you do.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so here's my response basically. Yeah, so your response is that I flipped the words. That's also a really dog shit response, and here's the reason why. It is the case that some philosophers, especially in older traditions, actually do treat the is-ought problem as a type of naturalistic fallacy, but it's just the case that the definition, or you could say the conceptual map for what a naturalistic fallacy is, it's just much broader than like somebody like Moore's conception of what a naturalistic fallacy, which is a little bit more restricted. So the reason why you think you're under the impression that the naturalistic fallacy is a form of the is-ought problem is because of the way that you're construing or constricting the definition of what a naturalistic fallacy is in the first place. I'm using a much broader sense of what it means to be a naturalistic fallacy. You're using a more restrictor sense of what it means to be a naturalistic fallacy. But I'm not really super interested in getting into the, strict or broad definitions or conceptions of naturalistic fallacies. I'm interested if this guy above has an answer to my question. How is it the case that the normative propositions are connected in any way to the descriptive propositions? Now, let's just sort of remind you of what they are, right? The descriptive propositions are, it is the case that the mother will go.
Understand.
Okay, cool. So what's the answer?
But the thing is, that's what I told you.
So what's the
There's
answer?
an if there. So it's like, just like Hume said, you cannot derive an ought from an is, which is perfectly fine, right?
What's the answer?
You can't do that. The answer is, it's like, and I've told you this if you are actually paying attention, is that he didn't put the if there, right? So for example, food is
You
good.
think if bridges the
right?
gap?
Let's just a second. No, food helps you survive. Okay, that's usually the case. So therefore, you should eat food. If I say that, that would be a fallacy, right? Because it's like I can't derive an ought from an is, right? But if I say food helps you survive, so if I want to survive, I should eat food, right? So what Amender did, he did not put the if there, right? So we have a normative thing, which is like, for example, pregnancy, the stretch marks, the body not being the same after pregnancy, which is all true, right? What Amender failed to see is that he has to put an if somewhere. So if the mother doesn't want her body to have stretch marks and the body to be impacted by the pregnancy, therefore she should not have the pregnancy. That's all. And again, I was very clear about this like 2 minutes ago.
Okay, cool. Are you done?
Yeah,
I just want to be clear that you're done before I respond.
That's usually
Okay,
when
cool.
people are done. They're stopping.
Also,
Why do people like
sure,
this?
yeah.
Why does he like this?
Anyways, yeah. So in any case, by the way, 12 wants to come back up. So I don't know if you guys want to do a 2v2. We
No,
can do it
I'm
right now.
I'm good.
You
I'm
guys would
good.
get fucking destroyed.
Yeah,
But anyways,
we would get
you're good,
destroyed by the
Did you get
debate
enough
bros.
back shots from 12?
Absolutely, we have.
You
We
don't
don't
wanna- you
stand
don't
a
wanna get
chance
backshot by
against
12
your
again.
fucking energy. Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah, because I don't
you're a
operate
coward.
on
You're-
that
yeah, you're a
level
cow-
of
yeah, we
energy.
know, you're a
Like it's
coward.
completely. It's probably
We know,
hands
we
down
know,
the most bad faith you
Yeah,
could possibly
yeah.
be as a person,
Mhm.
and it's also super
It's
insufferable.
it's
But
probably
I
the
really
it's
hope,
probably
just
the most
FYI, that
bad
you do this
It's probably the most
during like Thanksgiving, right? I'm sure you're a great company.
You do this during Thanksgiving. You do this during... Yeah, really good comebacks there. Number one, it's really fucking ironic how the guy who dodges every question is calling somebody else back.
Just gonna move them to the audience if that's okay with you.
Well, I mean, I don't mind it. I don't really care that
That
much
was
about
awful. Wow.
their type of debating.
Never-
but I mean,
never-
it's funny that he came.
never
he came so
become-
hard to you, Amender.
Yeah, never
He was
become
so hard
a
on you. He was
debate
like, "Oh my
bro,
God, you don't know
guys.
philosophy.
Never
Let
do
me
it.
teach you." And then he just said wrong things, and I had to educate him on the subject.
You know, I never asked him
It's
like what
lovely.
he thought on Nicomachean ethics. I was actually, I probably should bring him back in to ask what he thinks about Nicomachean ethics, right? Because
Whoa, 12,
I
you
don't
need to
really
calm down, buddy.
understand anything regarding philosophy. Maybe he could educate me because it's like a portion of philosophy that I'm not super versed on, and I'm just curious if he would be aware of what Nicomachean ethics are. But you know, I have a feeling he doesn't, right? Because debate bros don't actually read.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they care. So that's
no,
the
they don't.
problem. The problem is
They
that they don't really
wouldn't
care about this subject.
Yeah, yeah.
right? It's
No,
like
they just pull
what
up
they care
like their
about is-
fallacy book
Yeah.
and then walk
Yeah.
away with that and be like, do you have the proposition for that? I need to hear your logically sound position. Like, have you seen the comic for sea lioning? Do you know what that is? The sea lioning comic?
Yeah, I know it.
Yeah.
I mean, you showed it to me before.
I love the sea lioning comic. I like presenting it once in a while. Where is my sea lioning comic? Do I have? Hold on, let me see here. I'm trying to find it. Do I got the sea lioning comic? You know what? I don't. Let me go ahead and get that image. I'm gonna get it. I love the sea lioning comic because every single time I see these sea lions, man, it's the perfect amalgamation of just what exactly they're doing. It's my favorite thing ever. Let me see if I can find it here. Give me a moment, okay? Hang tight. All right, here we go. I don't know why it's in that color. It's normally in black and white, but it'll do. It'll do. Where's my Chrome? Hold on.
Okay, so can I read you something from the side chat, Amanda?
Sure.
Okay, so it's from a user. It says, LMAFO, they're talking so much trash, but aren't willing to have a discussion with Tuav. Who do you think wrote that?
Tuav.
Tuav.
All right, hold on. Okay, so here's the comic here, right? For those who haven't seen it, use this argument any time you like, because this is like really common in debate circles. A person who acts like this, I don't mind. But most marine mammals, I don't mind most marine mammals. But sea lions, I could do without sea lions. Don't say that out loud. Pardon me, but I couldn't help but overhear. Now you've done it. I would like to have a civil conversation about your statement. Go away. There is no need to raise your voice. I'm right here. I'm just curious if you have any sources to back up your opinion. You're in my house. You made a statement in public for all to hear. Are you unable to defend the statements you make, or are you simply unwilling to have a reasoned discussion? I told you, dude, sea lions. I have been unfailingly polite, and you two have been nothing but rude. I am trying to eat breakfast. Very well, we shall resume in an hour. This is literally, dude, there's so many debate bros that are exactly like this, and I just want to let you know that I never want to be like that. Because I think that they are insufferable, and they're unwilling to have a discussion. Oftentimes when they have to heavily lean into arguments regarding fallacies. And what's even worse is that it's very often that they actually get the fallacy just dead wrong, like you even pointed out there regarding the naturalistic fallacy. And I decided to pull up a naturalistic fallacy just to like confirm it, just to see like, hey, am I wrong? No, I'm not. I wasn't wrong. And he sat there and said that I was wrong about that. It's just wild.
No, he was right in the sense that you did like an is-ought fallacy, right? That
but
was true,
listen,
right? Like philosophically
just
speaking.
FYI, philosophically speaking, yes. But we derive ises from oughts all the time. All the time,
Yeah,
like
obviously,
constantly.
because we put the if right in
because,
there. It's like, you want to die. If you don't want to die,
but
you
don't
should
need
eat,
to.
right?
You
That's
don't
the
need
thing.
to
So we put the
operate in
ifs
the
all
weird
time.
philoso speak where it's like. I mean, let's just
Yeah,
be
of
honest.
course
It's super insufferable. It's like one of the most insufferable attitudes to have, rather than having like just like an open discussion and a dialogue and a back and forth. It's got to be like, oh, I know more than you as a debate bro. And then that's all it derives down to. It's like, what a waste of time.
And because this also has a name, right? Like for all these debate bros, it's the fallacy, right? Because all they can do is say, "Oh, you just did the fallacy."
Just call out
the
fallacy. Yes.
Oh, you just did the fallacy.
Yeah.
And you just say fallacy in order to obfuscate and kind of like derail the whole thing.
I think
right?
like what it is like if somebody says that something is wrong because it's fallacious. The reality is that something can be correct and yet still has fallacious reasoning. But even so, I don't believe that my argument was fallacious. Like, I don't think I committed any fallacy there where I said, hey, I believe that women ought have control over their bodies and their reproduction. It just seems... Anyway.
You weren't, because you're starting from an axiom, which you actually told him.
I did.
Like,
I was like, this is like a
axiom.
root. Yeah. And so he wanted me to back up with an argument, a root, like something that I just like believe at a root level, you know. Anyway, looks like we got Kitty Collins who would like to speak. So we're going to go ahead and bring in Kitty Collins.
Oh, she's from the same group, by the way, just so you know.
Really? Great.
So we're going to have fun, probably. Yeah.
Awesome. Kitty Collins, you're being invited to speak. Come on up.
Hello.
Hi, Kitty Collins.
Hi. Okay. First of all, Daniel.
Wait, Daniel. This is Scribbles. I love Scribbles.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is it? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it's Scribbles.
Daniel just doesn't understand humor.
I apologize.
No, it's not okay.
I truly apologize. Sorry.
Scribbles is good people.
Thank you, Amender. This is why I
when I see you lash out at people, I'm like, it's because people don't understand Scribbles. I'm just like, they just don't get it. They don't get it. I'm serious. I believe that. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry. So what did you want to discuss?
I don't know. I just had my hand raised because I wanted to feel special. But you can bring up Ness and debate him.
Bring up Ness?
Yeah. He's going to get so mad at me.
All right. Daniel, would you do me a favor and invite Ness? I'm having a particularly good run, and I'm hoping that I actually get somewhere with it. I would really appreciate if I could actually just please beat this level, and so I can stop playing this game.
He's going to literally break up with me.
You are invited. I did invite him to speak. Okay, so I don't know what's happening. No, I invited him again.
No, he's already rejecting it. He's going to break up with me. No, just pick someone else.
Oh, okay, well,
why would he break up with you?
Man.
Because I know he gets nervous.
All right. Well, why get nervous?
No need to get nervous with me, Ness.
No,
I'm just an asshole.
I mean, if you just want only like one to talk to you, that's fine. You know, you could specifically.
Actually, I did want to come up here and say, Amender, I watch your debates at work. Thank you for all the content.
Yeah, unironically does watch debates at work. It's actually super like annoying. It's weird.
I'm glad. Well, honestly, I'm glad you do that. You enjoy watching my debates at work. Do you think that I should have longer form debates, or do you like the shorter debates more?
I mean, the ones I watch, I think typically they're either like 30 minutes to like an hour long, and that's good for me because like I'm working, I'm on the computer. I need some content that's like long form. So
I think if you do long form debates, you should put in, like I said before, put snippets into TikTok and or actually debate TikTok bros because they're all fucking heathens.
All right.
The Andrew Wilsons.
I want to say though, okay. You know, I love your content, Mender. I also one of my really good friends, 12. He really wants to come up here. I think you should give him just one more chance.
Another chance. The guy. Are you serious? The guy went completely insane.
I spoke to 12. I told him, listen, you can't be that intense, and you cannot talk to yourself in the third person. Okay, we're reforming him.
Yeah, he's reformed. I changed
12.
him. All right. So is that all you wanted to talk about? We're going to give Tuav a second shot.
Also, he's Chilean like you, so you have to, you know, it's the brotherhood.
Dude, I've never met a Chilean that aggro. Holy shit.
That's right. Oh my God.
Why is he so aggro?
They're very chill, right?
Yeah, they're usually
a lot. Chileans.
Because him and Ness are philosophy bros, and they fucking jack off to philosophers together. I don't know, man.
So okay, like I know some philosophy, but I'm not like super versed in like tons and tons of philosophy. I mean, I need to read more, but I'll be honest with you, like a lot of philosophy is very dense reading, and it's really not super fun. Like reading.
Try dating a guy who enjoys reading it. Try dating a guy who enjoys it.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of moments where I'm just like, oh God, this is so boring. and it just doesn't hold my interest at the level that.
Trust me, I love it too. I was almost gonna actually do a PhD myself. It does get boring, yeah. I agree.
I made him do computer science because I'm money hungry.
Nice.
You know, like philosophers are not really
debate
good
bros never
writers,
make money. I just want to let you know that. You know, Scribbles is right though. Like you should absolutely pursue the computer science degree. That one will actually make you money, as opposed to like being a
No,
philosophy bro.
he has the minor in it. He's just getting the master's now, but he has like a job doing like data stuff. I don't know.
That's good. Congrats.
Yeah, thank you.
So what's your favorite philosopher, Ness?
Okay,
To hear that.
I would say as of recent.
And then I
probably-
let you guess mine. After that.
Oh my god, are you a Hume stan?
Yours is something super like esoteric. It's gonna be something super esoteric.
So there's I've been reading a lot of Plato, but I'm not going to give that answer. It's actually someone who's a later
Simone Weil. Simone Weil.
She's a French philosopher. She's also a Christian socialist. And she was writing around the time of like the 40s. Like I want to say just during and right after Paris got taken over by the Nazis. But she's a Christian Platonist. I definitely recommend you guys read Simone Weil. Really awesome thinker, and also just a beautiful writer. And also definitely recommend the Pittsburgh School of Philosophy. So John McDowell, Robert Brandom, and Wilfrid Sellers, and they're basically just modernizing German idealism. But yeah, that's all I have to say. Get 12 back up here.
Can I say one thing before you do? Amanda, is it wrong if Ness is half Mexican and I sing Ice Ice Baby to him when he's asleep?
Is Ness consenting to this?
No, I just want him to remember that I can call ice on him.
Okay, are you masked when you're doing that?
No, but I should.
Yeah, there you go. You see, it's all about how you're doing it.
I feel like you have to put fear into men to make them obey you. But okay, anyways.
All right. All right. We're gonna give Tuav a second shot. Daniel, could you move them down and grab Tuav for me? I appreciate.
Yep.
I appreciate
Goodbye, we love you all.
your assistance here.
Yeah. I will get Tuav. Why can't I see? Tuav even here? Oh yeah, he's here. Sorry.
Hello there. Shout out to Ness and Kate Collins for suggesting me to be brought back up. Before we start again, do you mind if I can ask a question, or if you guys can do me?
Yeah, no, you can ask a question. Go ahead.
A favor, a small favor. Okay.
All right, what's your favorite?
Can I have Kay up here so we can? Have
no, we're not doing that.
Why not?
If you want just one-on-one, we can do that. But no, I'm not having you two insufferable people together.
Wait. How about Kay will be nice? I promise you. You have my word. I'll be nice. I'll be nice.
Yeah, we're.
You know what I'm Chilean. We're both in the same race.
I'm letting you in. So go ahead.
Alrighty then, as you wish, Amanda. Now, do you want to restart, or do you want to pick up back up where we left off?
Well, we can start off by. Well, I mean, maybe for starters, maybe not sound like that you're the cousin of Nosferatu, and just talk to me normally. I don't know what you're doing.
This is my normal voice.
That's how you talk normally?
Yes. I have anxiety. Crippling anxiety.
Okay.
Why are you laughing, Amanda?
Because
it's not fucking funny.
It is really funny.
Fine. It's a little funny. All right, so I think where we were left off was in the woods example, right? Right, the fat fucking mother in the woods example.
Yeah, I mean, I was on the same thing, which is, I mean, I do believe that you're likely obligated. I like to think of like the Ayn Randian argument that I've heard before, where they say like, are you obligated to save a drowning baby, knowing that you're the only person there, and like the Ayn Randian would say that you are under no moral obligation. I find that to be pretty morally abhorrent. and not acceptable. I think it leads to worse outcomes to not display a level of moral responsibility, knowing that you're an agent perfectly capable and at no detrimental harm to you, that you can effectively save that person's life. That I would say that you are morally obligated. And so under the basis regarding like a mother that's like fat and lazy and won't take the child to adoption, I do believe that they would be morally obligated now that the child is born to take them to a safe place.
The thing is, though, Amanda, is that the Randians. So I agree with you, but I don't. I partially agree with you. The thing is, Randians, I would say they're more consistent because their ultimate principle is like the NAP or the bodily autonomy principle, which is very, very similar, if not the same shit as the consent principle that you've been endorsing. And that's why I was questioning you. Why aren't you going all the way? Why are you stopping when the newborn infant's outside the womb? They've been born in the woods. The umbilical cord has been cut. And the mother, her will or her autonomous will, her consent or whatever, is still, she doesn't consent to take care of the baby or even asking someone else to take care of the baby herself, right? She doesn't consent to that. And given that, it seems to me your position does lead to, a mother in that situation would be justified in leaving their newborn infant in the woods, perhaps being left to die or what have you.
I don't think so. I'm a consequentialist, which would mean that like I agree in terms of like consequences. I don't believe it's people are left to better outcomes by neglecting a child. Right. Even if it requires energy on your part that you are under, like if you're the human responsible for bringing the child into life, you are morally required to effectively do something to ensure that the child is taken care of.
But at this point, your position is now changing from a consent principle to now consequentialist principles.
Well, it's the same.
You're now moving from a different principle.
It's the same thing.
I don't think so. But go ahead and explain.
Yeah. So if you're talking about like the bodily autonomy thing, I don't think that a better society is reached by revoking the bodily autonomy of a mother who does not consent, the destruction of their body. I think a better society, better outcomes are reached when people can choose, have reproductive freedom over themselves. And this does show in the facts. It is true that not only is the body not destroyed, they can choose opportune times as to when they can have that baby, which ultimately leads to better outcomes even for the baby themselves. Oftentimes when people have a child, they don't have a child later on. If you say have a child at 15, you're in a much worse position than if you say had a child post-college at 30 or 27 or whatever.
This is what I'm not understanding. I'm not understanding because you're appealing to the mother's body either being destroyed, though I think that's just rhetoric, but if anything, I'll just still bite. Because why is not the fetus's body being destroyed also being taken into consideration? Under common bodily autonomy arguments in the literature, they do assume the fetus is a person. And presumably the fetus has a right to not be mutilated to death for the sake of the mother's desires.
Why? I don't.
Why is it all the... I'm answering still, Amanda. Why is the mother's desires or this principle supersede the fetus? And hopefully you can answer without begging the question.
Yeah, I don't believe fetuses are at the level of like fully grown humans. Do you?
No, I don't. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah. But the problem is, though, is that if that is what's doing the work, then I don't think it's necessarily consequentialism or the consent principle. It's more so
well it is consequentialist
or personhood
because
argument.
Yeah, I know it. We have to discuss like what is personhood in that situation, which is fine. But ultimately, where I'm going to derive down that personhood is going to come down to, well, what leads to the best outcomes in establishing that personhood?
But presumably one can still be a person and still have things done to them in a very poor manner, or there can still be more wrongdoing to a person just because there's a situation where there are better outcomes. So it's not even personhood at this point, or even consent anymore. It now just seems to me pure consequentialism. Are you a utilitarian? What are you?
I'm a rule utilitarian.
Okay. So my question is then, at this point, how do we, because I understand utilitarianism, any form of utilitarianism or consequentialism rather, to be very empirically oriented. So the question I'm going to have to ask you is, how do we know that there aren't better outcomes if we do allow mothers to abandon, to give birth in the woods, and abandoning them there, or to have infanticide legalized across America or across the world, simply in virtue there can be better outcomes. I mean, you can, for the same reasons as to why there's abortion.
I don't see by legalizing infanticide would result in better outcomes.
Well, you stated there can be better outcomes, right? If abortion remains legal or abortion remains permissible in society.
Yeah.
And
well,
I'm trying to figure out
we can empirically show
this
that.
isn't...
We know it, but when
Okay.
in states where abortion is permissible versus not, is that the educational outcomes are better, the drug use is down, the poverty is down. There's all sorts of metrics that are down as a result of having access to abortions, because women ultimately they end up choosing. They can choose when.
This is all fair and well, Amanda, but I want to know, where's the empirical data? Do we have empirical data that we are justified in doing this to newborn infants or having infanticide across society? And if we don't, then why is the default position banning infanticide?
I don't see how infanticide would result in any of those beneficial outcomes.
It's the only difference is a difference in degree of development of these entities, the fetus and the newborn infant. Hold on, I know you're going to say it's sentience or what have you. I already know what you're going to say, but I'm questioning that though. I'm questioning.
But you yourself already said fetuses are not at the value of a fully grown human being.
No, I never stated that. I said fetuses aren't at the same level of development.
You said you agreed with that concept.
I stated fetuses are at the same level of development, not this.
No. Do you believe? Are fetuses of the same value as a fully grown human?
Yeah, I think they have a fundamental equal right to life. Yeah, I think they're equally valuable. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you.
Now, will you answer mine?
Nope.
No. Notice how I answer your question. Are you going to answer mine now?
No, I'm not. I'm not going to answer.
Well, you're going to trot out the burning building.
You didn't even ask a question. Yeah. We're going to do the burning building.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I'm going to.
I already know what you're going to say. I already know what.
All right. Well, hold on. Chill. There's people who.
No, I'm not going to chill because you're now going to try to question me.
Yeah. I mean, hold on. This is a video. This is a video, right? Not everybody has seen every video, so I'm going to ask. I'm going to run you through the hypothetical.
Amanda, answer my question. Are you going to answer my questions, or are you just going to question me?
All right. You got to chill, dude. All right. So the hypothetical is simple, and I understand that you understand the hypothetical, but that doesn't mean that everybody understands the hypothetical. So we're going to have to start with the hypothetical. If you believe that fetuses and fully grown humans are the same thing, then I ask you the following. You're in a burning building, and you have to choose between one and the other. There's not enough time to save them both. On one side of the building, you have a tray of 100 fetuses. And then, and just so you know, every single fetus is going to get inseminated into a mother, an expectant mother. Every single one of those beautiful test tube babies' eggs will be inseminated. And then on the other side, we have a fully grown baby. So you obviously value the life of fetuses and babies the same. So then my question to you is this: which one would you save? All right, go ahead.
You're assuming that there's no difference between saving one entity and intentionally killing them. That's the failure of this hypothetical. Either answer is fine for the pro-life view. Either answer does not negate the pro-life conclusion or even prove the pro-choice position. If I save the child,
it doesn't talk about the pro-choice or pro-life. It just simply says, do you value them the same?
I'm answering your hypothetical. If I choose the child, that's still compatible with it's morally wrong to kill intentionally innocent human beings or innocent persons. There's a distinction between intentionally killing
if it's morally incompatible
or saving people.
Okay, but I'm asking you, which one do you save?
I save the child, yeah. What's the issue? Go ahead.
Okay, so obviously the child is more valuable than a fetus.
No, you can still believe
because there's 100 fetuses.
Are fundamentally, they each have fundamentally the right to life, and so treat them in different ways.
Okay, but obviously one is of greater value because I gave you 100 of them and you chose the baby.
You're not understanding. I answered your question. Okay.
Yeah, so obviously the baby is more valuable.
Hold on. Let me ask you this. Take the case of 5 newborn infants or 10 newborn infants versus 1 adult. Who would
5 newborn infants versus 1 adult?
Yeah.
As opposed to 5 newborn infants.
Right, but you would still agree that it's immoral to intentionally kill one or the other, correct?
Yeah, probably. Sure.
Okay, so yeah.
They're
So now
fully
take that
living.
answer. No, yeah, take that answer. Now apply that thinking that you got, the way you answered that hypothetical I gave you. Now apply that thinking to the hypothetical you just giving me.
Yeah, but I don't
Burning
value fetuses at the level of humans.
Okay. So if so your hypothetical only it doesn't even matter. The whole point is if we suppose
that does matter because I don't think that a body has a right to destroy the body of other people.
Okay, hold on.
Which would include fetuses and mothers.
Okay,
I believe that fundamentally. I do.
Yeah. This would only work if you're already assuming that fetuses aren't morally valuable at the outset. You're begging the question. But if they were, I think you would still see that this isn't a knock against the pro-life view because the way you answered my similar hypothetical to yours.
I mean,
so now let's go back to the fundamental question, whether the fetus is morally valuable or not. So, or do you want to go back to the viability question, the sentience trait, or what have you? Are you willing to answer my hypotheticals now?
Sure, I'll answer your hypotheticals.
Very good. Okay, then. All right, so
do you actually talk like this?
Off. Yes, I do. Yeah, I'm having so much fun.
Okay,
you're having so much fun.
All right, Nosferatu's cousin.
So much anxiety.
Okay.
So much adrenaline flowing through my veins.
Okay.
Talking to you, pro-choice.
This is weird.
Okay. Yeah. Says the guy. Okay, no, I was about to get rude there. I'm not. I'm gonna be good faith now. Okay, Amender. Okay, buddy. Okay. All right, so Amender. Are you still hung up on the fucking consent principle, whatever the fuck? Are we back to the consequentialism? What are we? Because you changed your position multiple times throughout this linear good faith conversation.
It's a complex issue, and there's multiple thought processes that are brought
it's a complex issue. So are you saying that this issue is so complex that you're not willing to give me the necessary and sufficient conditions for the moral position at hand when it comes to killing or not killing the killing of innocent human babies in the womb? Really?
No, I'm saying that there are multiple factors to consider when talking about, what's crazy is that...
Okay, give me the factors.
You yourself, well, I gave you some, but honestly, when it comes down to the pro-life, pro-choice position, we could sit here and talk about what we consider to be morally acceptable versus not morally acceptable. But the reality is that ultimately it's deriving down into our own perceptions on morality and, how we kind of wrestle with that.
You're definitely not appealing to subjectivism,
Just allow me to finish. Okay. It ultimately derives down to that. And so the end result is that those that are on the pro-life position go as far to say that it is not up to individuals to decide as to whether or not that they want to gestate a child and go through the very difficult situation of pregnancy and then ultimately raising the child. It is actually up to a Supreme Court representative or a politician 100 to 1,000 miles away. I find that to be morally reprehensible, because here's the thing, right? You personally can be pro-life in a pro-choice
society,
world.
but you can't be pro-choice in a pro-life society. Yes, I already know what you're going to say, Amender. These are silly rhetorical talking points.
It's not silly. I think it's a concern. I think it is a genuine an issue that I think pro-lifers have to somehow justify, and I haven't heard a single proper justification for it.
Wait, what? This is so interesting. You're complaining that one cannot be pro-choice in a pro-life society. What do you expect? What do you expect if you go against in a society who views that the abortion is the intentional killing of innocent human being in the womb? What do you expect? This is just complaining that your view isn't legislated into law. But this goes both ways.
But here's the thing.
This goes back to you. It's up to the politicians, or it's up to the. Hold on, I'm still answering your question. It's up to the politicians. It's up to some representative in some fuck ass.
No, it's not up to a politician or a representative. It becomes up.
This goes both ways.
No, because it's up. It actually becomes.
It's up to democracy.
It's no longer up to a politician or a Supreme Court representative. In a pro-choice society, it becomes up to you. You can remain, if
So
you're
what's
a
the issue
mother,
of my society votes
can
for pro-life?
remain pro-life, and that's perfectly acceptable. There is nothing wrong with a
it's
mother
not.
deciding,
Say that to
listen,
pro-life
I
fathers.
believe it's
Say that to
murder, and
pro-life
then
fathers.
that's a bad thing. Yeah, I
Say
mean,
that to fathers and husbands.
yeah,
who
I'm
are
sorry.
pro-life. They can't be
I
pro-life.
believe
Fuck
the
you
mother
mean?
should be the one that decides that. I do. I believe that.
Right. So we're going to go
the
back
father
to the
has no
consent
has
autonomy
no
principle.
place.
Now we have to debate that.
Yeah, well,
We have to debate
exactly.
that now.
Well, exactly. I mean, we've
Are we going to
already
discuss
had
that
the
now or what?
discussion. I just don't find your
No, we didn't have
arguments
the
to be
discussion. You kept
convincing.
you spent too much time doing these rhetorical flourishes, and I'm not buying them. No, this is just rhetoric,
Okay,
bro.
I mean,
I'm here for the substance. I'm here for the truth.
Well,
Are you
I
willing to
feel
join
like
with me?
that was substantive, but I mean, if
No,
you
it
don't
wasn't.
find it
I
to be
explained to you
substantive,
how your
we
complaint
have
is no
to
different.
agree to
It goes
disagree.
both ways.
I will give you the
No, we're
final
not
word.
agreeing to disagree.
Go ahead.
I don't agree to that. No.
Go ahead.
All right, so we're going back to the consent principle.
No. I give you the final word. I have to go. We're
No,
a
I'll
good.
let you- no, I'll let you have the
We're
last word.
20
I'll let you have the
minutes.
last
We're 21 minutes past when I normally stop.
So you
streaming.
refused to engage with me.
So
you
I'm
knew,
gonna
you know
let
that, right?
you.
You refused to engage with me thoroughly.
Finish with the final.
All you
word.
did
Go
was
ahead.
bloviate. All you did was do some rhetoric.
Go
No, it's
with
fine.
the
You can have
final
last
word.
I don't care. Go ahead. No, you go ahead. I'll let you have the last word. Go ahead.
All right, good talk. What did you think about this, Daniel?
Well, I mean, I wish we come to a point in time where we can actually have like this device that lets the zygote or be implanted in the father, by teleportation or something like that. Then we're gonna see exactly how the Supreme Court and all these politicians are gonna say, you know what, pro-choice is actually pretty good. We like pro-choice right now because that's when they will see that the mother can just say no, the father, if you want the baby, you take it here, go ahead. You have your body mutilated by
on that basis, that will be the show for today. I appreciate y'all for joining in. We likely have, and no guarantees, because I swear to you, Modern Day Debate just randomly just changes their crap on a dime. But I'm supposed to be on Modern Date at 9 p.m. tomorrow. Supposed to. I don't even know what the debate topic is about tomorrow.
What do you mean you don't know?
I don't care.
Dude.
These things get canceled so often. I just don't care anymore about any level of prep. I've completely checked out in the prep department. Like, I know I should be prepping. What?
All right, okay, so the debate is the ethics of pro-choice versus pro-life.
All right, great. Will do. All right. Anyway. Thank y'all. We're going to have more debates. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. youtube.com/@firstamender. I'm a very tiny YouTuber, so any amount of subscribers is huge for me. I really appreciate it. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys next week. Thank you. All right, brothers, we are done. God, dude, what is wrong with these debate bros? All right, see y'all later.